You done got the fever, I tell you that.
Hello, Mr. Brian.
Well, hello.
Welcome to Bedroom Noise After Hours.
Oh, this how I get on bedroom noise like this, huh? After
Yeah,
hours.
after hours.
Mm,
How
mm,
are you?
mm,
How,
mm.
how are you this evening?
I'm great, baby, and I'm grateful. You know,
You grateful?
great and grateful.
Okay, Mr. Great and Grateful.
How about you? How are you?
I'm good. As I'm doing, I am well. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
Have
well,
you ever watched Bedroom Noise before?
of course I have. You know that.
I-
Now you forgot at times or whatever I was making those comments and all that on the chat, and you were
like one
reading them
time.
and all of that.
Like one time.
That one time, okay, but you asked me if I ever watched or was I
So you watched
ever.
one. Oh, is that the time where you went to
No,
sleep?
no, it was more than one time, man. But anyway,
Okay.
you
Well, thank
just
you for
you just
supporting.
of course,
I
of
appreciate
course,
that.
my
So
pleasure.
I'm going to welcome everyone to Bedroom Noise, a grown and sexy, intimate relationship chatter with your very own girl, Jameka Necole. Let's get undressed and let's talk about it. So we were just talking, and we brought up a topic, and I asked if you wouldn't mind coming on and having this discussion with me online versus just us on the just private. I know you want to have a private conversation, but I actually think and thought that this would be great for us to have some others learn and hear this conversation.
Mm, okay. Well, all right. I'm with it. Hey,
You with it?
I was lured into it, but I'm with it. I'm with all the smoke. Let's do it.
I have one question though.
What's that?
Are you willing to get undressed together and chat about it with me?
Yep, fully, all the
Fully?
way.
All the way?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. So, because you do know undress simply means choosing to be emotionally vulnerable, being completely exposed, dropping your guard, and stripping of your defenses.
Yep, I have watched the show.
Okay. And every conversation
Mhm.
is an opportunity to explore the many ways we connect emotionally, physically, sexually, and intellectually through active listening, emotional regulation, radical empathy, and curiosity over judgment.
Oh yes, you know you really getting good with this thing, huh?
And let me tell you what Bedroom Noise mission is to restore, repair, rebuild, and reconnect love and relationships. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Didn't
They
know I was
said
gonna come on here like this, but
they
it's
said the more
it's
you practice, the better you get. That's what they say.
right. I know. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
your
So
crash dummy tonight, right?
if you want to look at it that way, I don't.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's all
So tell me
good.
what you was talking about. Well, because I want to name it something, but I don't think you want me to name what you just. You said women are arrogant. That's what you said to me. These days,
No, well,
you said these days women are arrogant, right? Or
okay,
no?
well let me say it. Let me say it how I really said it. Okay, because you
Mhm.
put it out there like that. Ooh, you, yeah. I think you're trying to trick or something right there. But anyway,
Did you say that or not?
well, I said that they're probably not aware of their arrogance and um
Okay, that's
in ways. This is not it's not a criticism or so much of a judgment, but it just they. I don't think they realize it at times. Um, because I said many, they have a lot of things going, and women are doing more now than ever, you know, and I said very creative, very talented, very gifted, can do so many things, you know,
Mhm.
very diverse, very multidimensional, and yeah, I think at times that they don't realize that because they can do all of these things and they have become so many things now. Um, that it's like the standards are so high for a man, you know, and they feel like most men just don't meet up to the standard. And as I was sharing with you, that I think, and I'm sure I'm surely not the only man that think this, and even women think this. The same thing. What I'm about to say is that you know they just not attracted to most men, you know, and feel like most men don't measure up in one way or the other.
Okay, so you said to me that you think that most women are not or not attracted to most men, but you say that more men would have opportunity with women because they're more they're more attracted to more women
Right, right.
than.
Yeah, more men find more women attractive than women find men attractive. And I'm not just talking about physically, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about in every way. You know, because as I told you, as I shared with you before, and I said, think about it. Women will say, well, when you make the statement about, like you could say, there's a lot of good men out here. There's some good eligible men out here, right? And decent men. And many of them will say the same thing. Where they at?
but
Like,
but men
where?
don't say that, because I've heard men say the same thing.
But yeah, I believe somebody. I think we could agree if you're honest, most women will say that more than men. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I see. You know, most women will be like, "Psh, man, where they at? They ain't nothing out here." And that saying, when it talks about the dating pool, who you think came up with that saying? Now I don't know for sure, but I think women came up with that talking about the dating pool full of piss and it's pissy and all the and it's trash and there ain't nothing there, ain't nothing good. Really? I mean, who you think really came up with that?
I
Men
hear
or women?
I'm probably women, but I also hear men say the same thing. I hear men say the same thing.
Yeah, some say that and they follow suit, but myself and I think there's a lot of men, we don't necessarily say that now. We think that um we might have limited options out here, but it's not for the reason to think like there are no good women. Like uh I just know, in me and a lot of guys that I know of and that I know, we agree and know there's a lot of good women out here. You know what I'm saying? And have a
I
lot of
and,
a lot of great qualities about them.
and bedroom noise.
And
I get that men are not saying that.
yeah, well, yeah, I know, and
So
I
if there
understand
so
why.
if there so I have a question. If there's so many great women out there, why are you single?
I ain't gonna say so many great women out there with them. Well, for me, I think it's just time and chance.
Well, you
That's
said,
all.
but you have there, because you said there's so many. So you're you have you would have lots of
No,
choices, right? No.
no, 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 no. Listen, have, saying there's a lot of good women, but you're not gonna connect with everybody like that on a certain level to, and be compatible enough to really be in a maybe what we would say an exclusive relationship, or really take it to another level. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, uh, there's a difference there, you know, of being able to connect with some of them, on a certain level, you know.
Mm,
So do you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
yeah. Oh,
You sure?
yeah. I mean, I'm here. I mean, you. Sometimes you talk two ways. You said you talk on both ends of the stick, I would say. So at one point you're saying that there's more men have more choices, and there's more women that men see as dateable or attractive, not just
Right.
physically, but in whatever way you find them attractive. and women, but then on the other hand, you will say that you're not compatible with them. You possibly maybe are
No,
not.
I said not compare. I said to be able to connect with them on a level, and so maybe we can come full circle and bring it back to my statement about women's standards and how they see most men, right? So in essence, what I'm saying is there's a lot more men that's willing to be with women as opposed to women being with certain men. You know what I mean? Because I mean, women have a way longer list of things that they want and their expectations and what they desire and all of that is way a lot longer and much more than men, than most men.
What
Do
are
you,
men?
do
What men want?
you realize that?
Yeah.
Well, I
What
mean,
do?
it depends on the man and where he's at in his life and that type of thing. But most men, and I think I can speak for most men, it's not that complicated. It's not a long laundry list of things that he wants. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Now, the things that we want is important now, don't get it twisted,
So tell
right?
me what you want. Tell me what you want.
And wait, hold on. Why are we gonna get to me? Why are we making this personalized as a man? We
I,
generalizing now. We
I,
ain't
I,
person.
when I say you, that's you are speaking for the men. I'm not speaking of you
Okay,
directly.
okay, all
You
right.
sound
Well,
like
I'm
you.
okay. What? All right, cool, gentlemen. I'm just all right. But here,
Calm
okay,
down.
cool. So,
Calm down.
so really, look, it's good. She say, calm down.
Calm down.
Oh no, look, loyalty. That's loyalty, respect. You know what I'm saying? Consideration. You know, um, being being able to be teachable. And that's one thing as many get older, it's like, man, I've lived life. I had my share of experiences. I've been in relationships. I've done this. I've done that. I've traveled the world. I've done so many things, and I've had all of these experiences. So it's like, ain't much really you can tell me about a whole lot of things, and that's sometimes what some of us get. You know what I mean? And like me, I understand that, and some of us we understand that to a certain degree, right? And we not looking at you as the young damsel in distress and you gullible, you green, and uh, you you don't know anything, and we got to tell you everything and teach you everything. But at the same time, I don't think many realize that there's still some things a man know when it comes to being able to give direction, right? When and the way we rationalize and the way we reason and the way we use logic and reasoning concerning certain things that you still can learn from, you know? And yeah, that's just how it is. But through your experiences, because you know so much and you've been around and you've done so many things that it's like, man, this is what I know and this is what it is, you know?
Do you think that men are intimidated by those women? You said they know a lot. They've been around the world. They have all of they have their education, their finances, they're straight. So do you think they're intimidated?
No, not intimidated, intimidated, but just sometimes just a little turned off, because, and I'll tell you this, there is definitely women out there that is very accomplished, that know a lot, and that they still um,
I feel it.
bask and thrive in their femininity, right? I've made this statement and I was sharing this with somebody earlier. I said, some women really don't realize still that their greatest value is in their femininity and not finances or not in your accomplishments and all that. But your greatest value as a woman is in your femininity. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and many others probably would agree with that, but I don't think they really understand the depth of what that really is, right? and what men when we look at as far as aspects of femininity, right? That
Well,
you could be
educators,
very strong. Okay,
educators.
you could be very strong willed, right? You could be strong but still soft. You know what I'm saying? You could be very tenacious, very persistent, as you said earlier, you are, and very determined, and all of that, right? And be assertive when you need to, you know, and be ambitious and all of that, but yet still have this humility about you, having a
Hmm.
humble spirit,
Hmm.
having a teachable spirit. You know what I'm saying? Willing to listen, knowing when to be quiet and when to just let a man speak. Right? There was a time where more women understood that. These days, a woman will look at you crazy, like know when to speak, when to be quiet. You know, it's like they look at you like you cussing them. Like that's insulting. Like that's degrading.
Do you
Me
think
be
that?
quiet, but listen.
Do you
Why?
think the?
Go
Do
ahead.
you do you think the reason? Do you think maybe? Do you know why they may be looking at you as like, why are you telling me to be quiet and listen? Do you know why? Because the thing about it is, I feel like this is what I feel like. I feel like all we do is do this circle thing that we're doing like right now. You say all of this. Do you ever, like, if someone said to you, looked at you that way, or said to you even, why would you tell me to be quiet, or why would you tell me to listen? Do you take it farther, or do you just stop there? Because it might be a reason why she is saying that. Or like, do you ever try to figure out why she said that, or you just go, oh my God, she said it, and you just leave with that, and then you go around and saying that women do that or say that.
No, I do. Here's the thing. If I wasn't disrespectful, right, and I wasn't really being condescending, and I understand that's a fine line right there because sometimes they might think I'm, being condescending, right? Um, I was told recently about me being like, you're so dominant, or you being so dominant, and you know, uh, and almost speaking like, if you will, like a know-it-all or knowing everything. But I said, well, no, when you really get to know me, you understand and know, nah, I'm the person that understands. The more I come to know, the more I realize I don't know, right? And I'm a truth seeker, and I'm always trying to learn and grow, right? Um, yeah, that's part of the evolution of life, right? Uh,
So have you asked a woman,
but I'm very,
have you ever asked a
yeah.
woman who said that to you why she feels that she should not listen and she shouldn't stop talking or whatever, be quiet and listen?
Yeah, I've asked, and
Which
sometimes they just think that hey, no, they feel like they should be able to speak and say what they want when they want, how they want it. And I'm not opposed to you expressing yourself. I want you to be free to speak your mind or whatever. I'm not saying, oh, I'm trying to treat you like a slave or like like a robot, or you just shut up and be quiet, listen to what I'm saying. Not like that. You know what I'm saying? But there was a difference. Like I know women of yesteryear, our parents and grandparents. When it's like there was a time in a certain place and way that they know when to speak to a man, how to speak to a man, and just simply be quiet. And there's some now that understands how to use their power in being silent and being quiet. You understand? It's not weakness, right? Meekness is not weakness, but it's rather strength under control, right? And some women, even now today, now I think it's probably few. I'm gonna just say that, in my opinion, few that really understand their power when they're silent or when they're able to be quiet, and that they can get a whole lot out of man. Because one thing about it, and men, we're gonna say what we have to say. We know, and that type of thing. And we gonna speak our mind, and I'm talking about, any masculine man, he gonna say what he have to say, and it's not about being disrespectful or condescending or anything like that. But if I know what I know, I'm gonna speak it with conviction. You know, I'm gonna speak it. I'm gonna say it with confidence. I'm gonna say it from my chest, and I'm very sure and confident about what I'm saying. Right now, does that mean I'm gonna disregard what you're saying, and I don't, respect what you're saying, and respect your mind to be able to listen to you? No, that's not what it is. But when you have a humble and quiet and meek spirit, and know when to just listen and to let a man speak and let him get out, many cases we gonna be able to see and recognize, like, okay, well, maybe you're right, or maybe, and really be able to open to hear what you have to say. But when you try to contend with a man and you try to compete with him and you try to, you know, like, that's when that's where the clash is. That's when it's like, come on. So you gonna try to shut me down. You gonna try to speak. You know what I mean? Like, we not in the ballroom, or we not. You know what I'm saying? We're not in that place where whatever where you gotta assert yourself in a certain way like that, right? And there's the difference too in a lot of ways like that, because they competing with men in business, in the ballroom, and all that. And a lot of times that spills over into dealing in relationships, and many don't realize. And some women I've known they have admitted that, right? Like, yeah, I don't know how to turn that off. I don't know how to balance that out. So what do you think about that?
I'm hearing you speak. I'm hearing you speak. I don't think you ever answer my questions. You never ever answer my questions. You always go around
Okay.
and under and everything.
Really?
But the point that you made right now, I agree that there are some women who do not know how to take their leadership positions and leave it at the door when they enter their homes. I do believe that. I do know there are some who know how to do that. I know that they know how to be
Yeah.
whatever leadership that they hold or position that they hold in their careers. They know how to put that down in their home. When they go home, they know how to put that aside and be able to follow and take lead and to listen and do all those things. So I know both sides. I know both women.
I do too. You know what I'm saying? I do too. Um, and when more come to realize that, it would be better off for them. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and going back to this, the idea that what I was telling you in the context in which I was saying that women have been afforded the opportunity and able to do so much now, so many things. And I don't think that some realized men, it's not about we being intimidated. It's not about feeling inferiority or inferiority complex. It's not about that. It's about, we grew up seeing women a certain way, right? And now we seeing this shift to where now it's different. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think many don't, many women are not mindful of. You know, of what we have seen as far as women. Men haven't changed as much. Women have changed in a lot of ways of how they move in this world and what they're doing and how they do and how they function.
Okay, let's hold that
Do,
note. I'm gonna. So you said men haven't changed as much.
not much. They really
Okay.
haven't.
Let me Philip Houston, hello. He says, I believe it should always be respectful. I believe it should always be respectful conversation between both. I think we have taken the wrong interpretation at times when look at the past happenings, even in the content of conversation. Okay.
Okay, so let me say something on that right quick.
Mm-hmm.
So have men in the past in a lot of ways, whatever, and even now today have sometimes abused their power? Yes. Right?
I,
But I
I,
think
I,
now women. what I think in the quest of women wanting equality, I think women went from wanting to be having equality in certain ways to wanting to have superiority. Like now it's not only that I feel that we're equal, we feel like we're superior. Because women, I think some, not all, some have gone, from, well, we should have the right to be able to do this. We should have the right to do that. In some ways, I think women have proven that they can do certain things that men can do. And some things maybe a little bit better in some cases, right? We can't deny that, right? But the truth of the matter is that some have gone to the extremes and some have abused their privilege, their power, and what they've been afforded to do, and and they've taken it a bit to the extreme, you know, and so I guess in essence, what I'm saying, a lot of women have become like become what the thing that they are despised in men. Now, what do you think about that?
So I just did a podcast not too long ago talking about the roles in the roles of the family in the community. And I spoke about the changes. And I did speak that men have changed, um, men are not the same as they were. So I think overall, both men and women have changed. I think women are acting more like men are acting more like women. Children are being parents. Um, I believe it has shifted a whole lot. So no, I don't think men. As far as like, I asked you a question about why do you have you spoke to someone, have you asked a lady, or do you speak to women? I'm always curious. I'm curious about things, so I'm always asking questions. So if I see someone doing all different things, I want to know why you do it. I don't want to just walk around saying, oh, women do this, men do that. I want to know, why do they do that? Why do you think, if you say, I don't want to listen to you and I don't want to take direction from you, I'm curious to why you don't, because I think what men are missing, this is what I think men are missing. Men are missing that not every woman wants to continue to listen to a man that can't even though you give direction, does not mean that direction is the best direction. Men can give you directions to go right into a river and drown too, right? So just like anything in life, you can't take directions from any old body. And I think what I'm hearing is that men are thinking because they are a male, a man that has a penis, that we should all listen to men. And I think that's where it goes. Not everybody you can listen to, whether you're a man or a woman. I'm not going to listen to you. And so I think what men don't realize is the ones who say this, those women find you possibly they can't take lead and direction from you, and they don't desire to take lead and direction from you. They can talk to another man and they can take lead and direction and follow and stop talking and listen and everything else. But what I'm hearing, that's why I'm always curious. Don't just hear it, go and find out why they don't, and maybe you'll get more clarity, that because that's your reality, maybe you are not doing something that they want to take lead from you.
And see, this is where we come back to this. Okay, are you ready? Put on your seatbelt.
I don't think I need
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you don't think? Okay,
No,
all right.
not at
Well,
all.
ready or
Just
not? Well, ready or not? Here it goes. Okay, this is what it comes back to. First of all, you said something about men not being the same anymore, whatever. But this is what we understand, and some of us understand, not only men but women as well.
well, you
When I,
misquoted me. You misquoted
listen,
me.
okay, no, okay, well, okay, well, okay, I'm
So
okay.
so what
Go,
so
go
what
ahead.
I s-
Go. What I
so
misquoted? Go ahead.
So what I said was that I believe that men and women have changed. I didn't leave one out and the other. I
Okay,
said, mhm.
right, exactly. And but you said men. Now I've made a statement really that's similar to what you said. That's pretty much what you said. I said this is a problem today that um, a lot of men don't want to be men, and a lot of women trying to be men, right? So I don't think it's really about one gender per se, and It's not about blaming one gender or saying that women is all the cause, and this is the reason why it's like the way it is now, right? And the powers that be, right? And I don't want to get into so much politically and all of this what is going on in the world right now, but that's so much a big part of it. The economic climate and the way things are right now, and the more opportunities that women were afforded to get, and the more privilege and everything that was able to, that they were afforded to do that they couldn't do before, then that's when the things started changing and shifting. And all of that is by design, what I'm saying, again, to break down and break up the family structure, right? But like I said, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because it's a whole lot to that, right?
Okay.
But so watch this. So going to what you said about asking a woman this and that, well, some things, whatever, and I need you to really take this for what it is, right? Some of it is not about asking a woman because some of them don't realize, they don't know why they do, they don't know why they function the way they do, and they do what they do the way they do it, right?
How do
And
you
no, no, no. Listen, let me tell you how. Because the things that they say and the way they say it, right? That lets me know, okay, you don't really see what has changed. You don't really see the agenda. You don't really see what has happened that in many ways that afforded you to be able to do what you do. That's by design, right? And that's been done for a reason the way it is. Like again, to have us to where we at now. And it's work. It's been very effective, right? And so and here's the other thing, addressing the thing you said about, and this is the thing that a lot of women will say, and will use and say, well, she just not, maybe it's just you, or maybe it's not you, whatever. Well, if we look at the numbers, if we look at statistics, I think by that we can say there's a whole lot more women that don't really want to listen and don't want to be compliant and don't want to be cooperative with men when it comes to the divorce rate and who files for divorce and who decide to call it quits and who decide to say, I don't want this no more. And this thing about irreconcilable differences, all that come about. One time that wasn't really about that, no such thing or whatever. People stayed together and they learned to work certain things out. If it wasn't about no real abuse or abandonment or or adultery or addictions or something that was real that detrimental, right? They would find a way to work it out. They would stay together. They would stick together. They would honor those vows more so. And this is a reality that many don't want to accept and face. There's a lot more men when they get married and be with a woman that they plan to stay with her and stick it out. You know what I'm saying? And then here's the thing that comes back to, well, he cheated, he did this and that, whatever. As if women ain't doing the same thing. And this is not about a tit for tat. This is not about to say who's wrong or who does what more. But some of the very same things that women want to crucify men and continue to condemn them about, they doing the very same thing. Now ask me how I know. Like I told somebody, a friend of mine, a lady friend, I said, look, some men have trust issues with women, right? Not just because they had a woman cheated on them, right? Not because they experienced that. Not that they caught a woman that. Not that they ever knew a woman did it with them. I'm one of them. I said, but you know what made me at times had trust issues? I said, you know how many married women that put it out there that would have wanted to make me a side piece, that wanted to deal on the side? I say, you have no idea. I say, so I know firsthand, right? So that's some ways that men have trust issues or whatever that we like, boy, it's really like this.
Okay.
That's how they doing it. So, and again, this is not to say all women are like that. This is not to say every woman do, because there's some women that I believe that I know of that, man. I would have to hear them really say it out of their own mouth to confess that they stepped out on their husband or they cheating or whatever. Like I wouldn't, I wouldn't believe unless I hear them confess it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying it's every woman now, but I'm saying it's just as many or even more. So what I'm saying is, Jameka Necole, everything that's always brought back and blamed to the man. Like again, the man, if he do it, well, he was low. He was this. He had no discipline. He had no control. He this, that, whatever, immature. All of these things. The women do it, but then it comes back to the man. Well, emotionally, he wasn't available. It's always because, and that's with other things. So we understand it, and but men that still love women and going to be with women ain't gonna blame and bash all women for what some think and feel or whatever. But we just understand it and we know what it is. And but that don't mean we agree with it. We go along with it. Some go along with it because they don't want the rejection. They don't want the opposition. They don't want, you know, they don't want the, to be scrutinized or be criticized. So what? They go along to get along. But some of us we not. I'm gonna tell you the truth because I love you, and this is what it is.
Okay, let me hear. Philip, he says we have forced women to be in charge due to men lacking being in charge, waiting, wanting to be accountable. He also says wrong statistics. Don't agree, and I don't agree with a lot of stuff he's saying right now either. But you're so long winded. I forget some of the stuff you said. Yeah, you always seem to you're to me it's hard for you to hold space to what it is before you have to start going off to say what a woman you went all with the whole cheating with a woman cheating with which we all know in order for a man to cheat a woman was involved probably like but depending
Well,
on
it's the
who.
part of accountability. If I just say it simply, it's the accountability thing. See what the thing about um, having power, being in position to be able to do certain things, with the responsibility of or having certain positions and being able to do certain things now that men that you once weren't able to do whatever, women want those perks. They want all of the good things that come with that, right? The privileges and the perks come with, but they don't want the accountability. And that's where lies the problem. And they don't understand that, right? And that is what it is. So it's like you you say I'm not, but let me tell you, and here's the thing. So a lot of men elect to do what they do and deal with the women the way they do or whatever because it's like, well, what's the use? And that's why some men even say this, and I don't agree with this totally. That's why they say, you gotta lie. You gotta just go, just all right, just go along with it, you know, to be able to exist sometime to coexist with something because they're not gonna see it and say. Me personally, I don't agree with that totally, whatever, because I believe if you know if you're a person that can accept the truth and live with it, that's how I want to deal with it anyway. Because I'm gonna speak my truth, I'm gonna be who I am or whatever. I don't care about the criticism because you know, um, I'm just not built like that. You know, um, you know, I'm always gonna be able to get what I want and do what I do by being me. You know, and not bowing out to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't what no, being arrogant. That's just being confident and know who I am. Some men afraid to speak certain things because they don't want to be criticized. They don't want to be rejected. Well, I don't care about that. Because the real ones that know, they're gonna be with it. They get good with it. So it doesn't matter.
Oh boy, okay.
Man, look, you want to have it, it is what it is, you know.
Philip, if you want to come up, you're more than welcome to come up too. Can have a threesome up here. Um, I don't know where to go. I mean, you say a lot, and I can't. You had a few topics that you hit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jameka Nicole, what I say is not going to be popular. It's not going to be like, it's not going to be well received. But I don't, you know, years ago, um, I, you know, when I did a lot more on Facebook. I think I told you about all that, and I did like you was on a lot of panels. I did a lot of different stuff. Even had a blog talk show that I was a co-host with years ago. A lot of before a lot of this, all this stuff got popular with podcasts. I was already on that path. And hey, um, everything I said, of course, wasn't. It was very. I said a lot of unpopular opinions, so I'm good with it. But the thing about it is, for the most part, most of it you can't refute because it is what it is, and it's not just about my opinion. My opinion is always going to be aligned with fact and reality. You know what I'm saying? Because if my
Philip,
opinion
all
doesn't,
you have to do is hit the
yeah,
button, hit the thing that's in the link. It's a link in there. Let me see if I can I'll put it back in there if you don't see it, but there's a link in there. You can hit it. Let me see. I'm getting better at this every day. I'm gonna put it in there one more time, and all you have to do is hit it or click it. Huh, you can tag in. Do you see it? It's in there. It's StreamYard.com. I'm on Facebook and YouTube right now, so I don't think I put it in the YouTube one though. Oh yeah, I think I might have put it. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I need to put it in Facebook. Give me a second. I'll put it in Facebook. You're right. You're right. Hold 1 second. I'm gonna put it in Facebook. Sorry. Uh, hold on, Brian. Can you hear me still?
yep, I
Okay.
surely do.
Okay, I forgot I was just putting it in YouTube. I be forgetting not to do it in other channel. So it should be it should be in Facebook. If you're on Facebook, it should be on Facebook too. I don't think I think your thought process is not. I wouldn't say that is unpopular. I just don't think that a lot of people agree with it because you're kind of, I wouldn't say one sided, but I don't think you see the whole view of stuff.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing to that. Like, um,
I'm gonna
I'm a
bring one more
friend.
person up with us to join us.
Okay, good. Well,
Hi,
this is the
Philip.
thing about.
Oh,
Oh, good.
Hey, what's
We
up?
can all hear each other.
yeah,
Yes,
I hear.
yes.
Thank you,
What?
Philip. I have one question for you.
Yes.
Are you willing to get undressed with me and chat about it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the deal. So we're talking, we kind of started, you've been on for a little bit. You've been hearing the discussion.
Yes.
Okay. What do you feel? Enlighten me about some things that we've shared or stated here? Because I saw you in the chat.
Yeah. So I was is it Brian? My brother
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
I was listening. So I'm a I guess I'm a person of the cloth. And so by being a person of the cloth, a lot of my views and opinions may be different. And I say that based upon, I believe that sometimes people have taken on a belief that we would consider old, and now like an old covenant. So like what you talked about being married, and people knows the thing in the Old Testament. If you're married, you could not divorce unless that person died. Now, with that, a person would just accept anything that they would, whether they was abusive, the man
Yes.
was abusive, or the lady was abusive. They just kept it. They kept it because of the covenant that they had. So then we believe that when Christ came and died for our sins, we became up under the new law. And so with the new law, I believe that no person should stay in something that's abusive to them. And so a lot of people, and just talking in an intellectual general, a lot of people came to the senses and say, hey, look here, me being in this relationship is not, this ain't what peace supposed to look like. This isn't what, and then whether that's man or female, life doesn't supposed to be like this. And know something, it's time for me to wake up and move on to something else, because whether you're a high power, you believe in God, X, Y, Z, I don't think nobody wants you to be in nothing that's miserable. And then too, when it comes to relationships, people change. You may start off together at a certain point to where we accepted certain things, we enjoyed one another, but then we get so influenced by we've gotten in some we have gotten influenced by society so much, society, friends, internet. We see things different, and every day is something is changing the way we think and how we look at things. And so we get to the point where we want to try new things. Now, if we're in a relationship, open communication should be to where we talk about when there's a change. And so guess what? Everybody may not want to change. Some people may want to stay where they were 5 years ago. Some people may want to stay where they go 15, 20 years ago. That's a personal opinion. And so sometimes that makes us complacent. And so we're living in a world that changes every day. And so not to say that, hey, listen, we change with the world, but I think we have to be open to what change looks like. Is it for the good or for the bad? Because if not, we will get left behind in our relationships, in our lives, if we don't continue to look at what that change looks like.
And I think you're speaking more on when he was talking about, women stayed in, you
Yeah,
stayed
but
in, yeah. And I also agree too. I think like with anything, there's going to be change, right?
yeah,
And so back in the day, women had to stay. They had to accept X, Y, and Z. If it wasn't healthy, if it wasn't something they wanted, they had to stay in it because they are educated and have jobs. And, a lot of them don't need a man to survive. In every area to be actually sexually, physically, emotionally,
yeah,
like
yeah,
a lot of those things are being fulfilled with all kind of things these days,
yeah.
so they don't need that. And so that is the change. And I spoke about that on one podcast about the changes that's happening. This women, it's not that they don't need a man, is that they're not going to accept anything and anyone. They're just not anymore because they don't have to. Back in the day, they had to.
Yeah.
Mhm. See, that's right there again where many don't see the problem, right?
Well, well,
Because
Brian. But so here, Brian, you're right in what
hold
you're right in what you're saying, but also too,
on.
even from a man's standpoint, even when you have women that are in control and they want to talk down to you and this and that. Well, hey, I don't have to be submissive to you because of who you are, your title, this and that. That you may need somebody that you may need a person that you can control, and everybody's not like that.
No,
But
well, it's not about listen. First of all, a man and his true masculinity and his manhood, it's about you control yourself, right? It's not about so much me controlling her as being a robot or being my slave, right? That's not what it's about. But if I'm a protector, let's look at it from the standpoint of being a protector. How can you protect someone or protect something you don't have a certain amount of control over? Like if I tell you certain, and when I'm talking about protection, I'm not just talking about physically, because a
Mhm,
lot of us are men, we understood that, and I know that I was come out raised by a masculine man, and that was a given. He was going to protect us physically, but there's other ways of protection as well too,
What are the
spiritually,
what are those ways?
emotionally, emotionally, or things or whatever that certain people or certain conversations and things you should stay away from that would infect you in certain ways, right? That you don't even realize.
But
So if
so,
I'm telling you like
so
or certain wait, hold, let me
okay.
finish.
Okay.
So there's certain things and
But
decisions you make that might the whatever where a man's leadership and his guidance and the things that he can see that he can say, no, look, if you it's not good for you really to be around this or this environment or just say at a certain time or whatever, to you to be out at a certain place. It's not about being controlled. It's not about trying to treat you as a child, but it's about, baby, you're better off not going this place, this time, this where, and being this way or whatever by yourself, looking like this or whatever, because these are the things that, as a man, that I know possibly could happen, right? And I may not be there for you, whatever, in different ways. Because it's just different things that we try to foresee, like we would protect our children, or we in certain ways of things that they can't see the harm that they make a walk into.
okay,
And a lot of things as a man, we have that insight or whatever because it's in our innate nature to be that way. So if I'm a protector, there's certain things I'm going to be able to see and be able to try to deter you from and keep you from that you might look at. Well, why do I need to do that? Well, sometimes maybe you right now at the moment you understand, but you got to trust what I'm saying and just know I'm doing it for your own good. And it's not about controlling you. It's not about trying to treat you like a child. It's not about trying to, do that to you and just try to. It's the thing that I see and I know, and I have my
okay,
own set of experiences to know that at times I've said, look, it's better not to do that. And sometimes the person had to see, okay, yeah, now I see what you're saying. Yeah, now you see what I'm saying. So
okay,
you got to be able to trust that. And if you don't want to listen to that or whatever, then it is what it is.
okay.
Now, I agree with you. I think we as men, we are created to lead.
Yes.
We have been created to be the leader.
Hmm.
Now, with that, it still doesn't neglect the fact that okay, I from this conversation right here, I see that you're a leader. I'm a leader. Now, three other men down the road, Brian, they ain't gonna be no leaders. So
Thank
out of the
you.
five, it's gonna be me and you, and the other three need somebody to lead them.
Yeah.
It's true. Now, here's the thing, Brian. I'm in
I,
business.
mhm.
Do you know right now? I'm in transportation. I do passenger transportation. If I get 10 job applications, out of that 10, do you know that seven of them are women and three are men? And it's so crazy to the point that in moving people, we have women now, man, that are CDL drivers that are driving buses and picking up luggage that's 50 pounds a piece. They working. Now, I take a man, I take another man and a woman right now. The woman gonna outwork this man because he crying. It don't make no sense. But it's like it's just the way society is guiding us now. Now, we're trying to push, the brotherhood to be more stronger. And, we got some good, strong brothers out here, good men ministries, good men, community groups, this and that, good men friends and all. But when we sit and look and when we really sit down and look, man, it's like sometimes we're getting in certain areas, we're getting left behind because it ain't enough of us stepping up. And so we can't
Man,
control, right? We can't control everybody. Now, we can go to the other three brothers and try to help them to understand and try to help them be, what they need to be. Because even in some things, we are born as leaders, but then sometimes as men, we don't accept it.
Hmm.
Because some people, guess what? They want to be lazy. It bothers me to see a man and a woman in the car. A lady is driving around. I had a situation to where a girl had a flat tire. Young lady had a flat tire. And she done went to two service stations trying to get help. And she pull up to one of our mechanic shops to get help. She comes in the door, hey, I got a flat tire, this and that. It's three men in here. We all concerned, hey, let's go out here and help you. We go outside. Her boyfriend sitting on the passenger seat with his feet up in the window on his phone, and she trying to get help.
So Philip, thank you. And what I'm hearing and what Brian, what I feel like you and I was saying this earlier, because you are a man or a male does not mean you know how to lead and you know how to take direction. So these women who talk about they're not going to listen to Pookie, they're not going to take lead from Tyrone, they're not going to, because those individuals do not give them a reason to want to follow and take their lead or be quiet and listen to them. Just because you have that, just because you are that gender does not qualify you as especially these women that they have all these things. They're not going to just listen to old blow Joe just to listen to him because because his gender is what his gender is. No. And you, to me, you always seem to think because it's the gender that that's what should happen. And no, no one's doing that. And so when you get women that don't want to follow what you're saying, you have to, that's why I said, did you ask them why they don't want to listen, why they're not trying to hear you out, why they don't want to be quiet, why they're not trying to take your lead, why they're not following you? It's a reason why.
Okay. Can I?
She
Okay.
already tried to follow the person that led her to the water and she done drowned already. She
That
already
right
did
there.
that.
That right there. See, and that's part of it right there. Whatever. See, a lot of times that's what it is. You know, I made a statement to somebody earlier that I heard recently, and I haven't been able to let this go. And it says that men know who to love, but not how to love. But women will know how to love, but not who to love. Would you agree with that?
Okay, maybe possibly.
I'm gonna say it again.
No, you.
Okay.
Men will know who to love, but not how to love. Women will know how to love, but not who to love. And that's usually early on when they're younger, right? Women, they're going to choose guys for certain reasons, certain things, whatever, superficial and all of that. And then as they get a little older through experience and wise, whatever, then they come see it a little bit differently, right? And so the thing about it is sometimes it's from their experience, Jamaica, and sometimes they don't know what it looks like to have a man that lead. Me, I understand about leading, how to lead leadership, because I had a father that was, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the house knew he was the head. Everybody knew, respected him as such, and respected his leadership. And when he said something, hey, it was respected and it was well taken. And they know it was for our own good, and things was going to work fine, and it was going to be all good, right? Not that he was perfect, not that he knew everything, because no man is perfect and know everything, but he knew enough, and we respected that he knew enough and how to lead whatever and his authority, that we was going to submit to it, the whole house. It wasn't no question about who wore the pants and who was the man, who was the head. Right? It wasn't no question about that.
Right.
So that's
But
in my DNA, and I understand that. And that's not only me. There's other guys that I'm good friends with and been knowing a long time,
so
that's raised on the same principles, right?
But
And understand that.
Brian, I asked you this
and,
question.
and
How
let's make sure that we're respecting and not being so long winded when we speak,
okay,
everyone.
okay,
So
okay.
go ahead.
I would say so, Brian, how old are you?
I'm 56.
Okay, you 56. I'm 47. What you're talking about, I experienced with my grandfather. But I would say my grandparents, I've seen that firsthand what you're talking about. As far as that relationship, as far as the man being, being in charge and everything. Now, when it came to my parents, um, that wasn't the case. It changed. The father, it wasn't the same. But I could see that from my granddaddy, as when I was younger, on how he responded and how he was respected for the house. But it seemed like a shift change with my parents as I got older. I would say 9, 10 years old, watching them. Then to where it seemed like it started balancing out. Male, female, in charge and everything. Now, I respected my dad as being a leader. I did. But overall, in certain things, okay, he was not a leader. And there was some other things, that might have happened. But I saw that more prominent with my grandfather. before it's being in charge. And so even as I look now, I don't see that. I don't see my grandfather, that stability in society now like we used to see. It's all over the place now when we look at ourselves individually
Let me
across
ask you
the
a question.
board.
Is it all on men, or what do you attribute that to?
No,
Why do you think?
I think
There you go, Brian.
it's
You always have to flip it and make it. You have to put it on the woman. You never could just stay with the
No, I
just
didn't.
you.
I'm asking a question, Jamaica. What do you mean? I didn't put it on nobody. I
You was
said,
about to say what about
the
what you?
women.
That was in
no,
you.
I
That
didn't
was
know.
in
I
you.
didn't know. You saying what I was about to say, but what did I say? What was my question?
Oh,
I said, is it always
Hello.
did he freeze? I think he froze.
the accountability? What I'm saying is what I mentioned to you earlier about
Okay.
accountability. Like
Well, but is the
again,
right word accountability? Could we agree that the world society has changed our influence on how we look at one another, how we interact
yes,
with one another?
I agree. That's what I was telling Jamaica earlier. I was touching on that. So yes, it is a big part of that, and definitely the economic culture is a big part of that. Because what Jamaica said earlier, well, we don't have to, and we don't have to listen. Why? Because you got financial security, you're financially free or financially, independent in a lot of ways. So if I got what I need, if I got resources, if I got money, and I got businesses, I got education, I got all of these things going for me. Why do I have to listen to man? Why do and I said this a while back, and people
What?
laughed at it when I said it. I said, but it's a real thing. I said the more women started working, becoming gainful employed and entrepreneurs and educated and all that, the more marriage suffered.
Okay, so when did
Tell me I'm
Jamaica
right.
say? When did Jamaica Nicole say that? What you just said that I said that
You made a statement about women before being more submissive and having this man. You say now women don't have to do that as much anymore. And that's a big part of the reason because women had to depend on men more financially, right? Because into the 1970s, women couldn't have a bank account on their own. To what? 1974 something? They couldn't vote. They couldn't buy a property. But yeah, you couldn't even have a bank account on in your own name without your husband. You couldn't vote. You couldn't buy a property. You couldn't buy land. So there's a lot of things women could not do that they would they started being able to do. Then it went from again, well, yeah, we want equality. We can do everything a man could do. And what I told you earlier, that now is not only about equality, it's about superiority. Like not
Well,
only we can do what men could do, we could do more and we could do it better. Not all. Not all.
so
Please hear me.
that's-
Not all. But
okay,
many
go
think that.
ahead, Philip.
And that's just not
so
true.
so so Brian, do you think
That's
that,
delusional.
okay, like when it came to women voting, do you think that was something that we say man put in place that women couldn't vote, to where they literally had to fight to where they finally got an opportunity to vote? Now, that's not, I don't think that's we always have been, when it comes to our opinion and our mindset and our conversation, has always been equal. But sometimes we've been suppressed to where our conversation is not heard based on what a person or a law or agenda or organization has put in place that has make us to believe that we don't have any power. And so now, since we've gone beyond, we've got certain rights, we got certain power, then it's, hey, how do we control the power that we have? Now, some of us, when it comes to, well, I believe when it comes to women, some women, you are right. It's some women, man, that want to be in charge. They ain't gonna let a man do anything because they have been maybe been through some hurt or they've been trained a certain way. That's them. Now, does it make it right? Does it make it common? No, but it's a choice that they have chosen to do. It's a choice that they have chosen to take on. I like older women. I'm 47. My ex was 7 years older than me. And we didn't make it. Because you know why we didn't make it, Brian? Because guess what? She needed somebody that worked a 9 to 5, that was gonna be home at 6 o'clock in the evening to eat dinner every day. That wasn't me. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm working. I got businesses. My schedule's all over the place. And then guess what? Because of past relationships, she thought that because of my age, that hey, she will be in control. And I was like, well, no, I'm a man. Regard, you know what I'm saying? Hey, even though you're 7 years older than me, at the end of the day, I'm a man, I'm a leader, I'm gonna be in charge. And I said I'm gonna be in charge because I'm gonna help lead. Now, do I does that mean that we don't conversate, that I don't accept your opinion about certain things? No, at all. But when it comes to show that, when I say to myself, hey, I'm a leader. So, but I want you to treat me like a leader. Don't try to be in charge because of my age, but treat me as a human being and let me lead according to the way that a man should lead. Because guess what? When it says a man, it ain't no in parentheses. You got to be this age to be a man. You got to be this to be in charge. No, leadership comes from a leader. It comes from within. And so I think people will see that once they be able to have a conversation with you or be around you, that who you are as a leader. Because hey, I'm 6'3". Me being 6'3" does not equip to me being a leader
Mm-hmm.
at all. But it's how I communicate. It's what I do. Is my action that shows people that I am a leader when it comes to play.
And that's the point that I'm making. Because your gender does not equal someone's going to follow and you can take lead. I know there's women that are leadership and they shouldn't be in leadership because they don't have the qualities that it requires to be a leader. Leader doesn't mean you're smart. Leader doesn't mean you're a man. Leader doesn't mean any of it's certain qualities that you have to know how to work with everyone. You need to know how to control the temperature in the room. You need to know how to teach differently. You may meet Shaquita and you need to teach and talk to her differently than you talk to Jameka Necole. There's different ways of being a leader. There's the qualities of being a leader. Just because you are, like I said, smart or you are male doesn't equal you are a great leader. That doesn't. I know, like I said, I know women that shouldn't be in positions that they are in. I know men that shouldn't be in position that they're in. I know women would be okay with following lead, but they're not going to follow him because he does not know how to lead. He didn't know how to lead in his first relationship, and he still doesn't know how to lead. He does, and no one's going to take lead with that. Now, that woman that was maybe back in the day before she learned some things, she might have taken his lead and
Yeah.
followed his direction, and she saw the results of that. When she did that, what happened? And so she meet another guy that is similar to that. She's not going to take his lead or follow him. She's not going to do that. And what you're saying, Brian, in my opinion, or what I'm hearing is a male, the gender alone makes you like a woman needs to follow that just because it's because of the gender. And that's not what happening. And when I talk about change in the family, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of men that are not of leadership or of quality these days. They're not. Just like you try to say that women have changed, men are
You know what
no
I'm saying?
longer are on that level anymore. I don't know how many men I speak to. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. And they can hold a status, they can be of age, they can have whatever, and they don't have the proper tools. They don't have the emotional intelligence. They lack a lot of things that you don't, and they hide behind, I'm a man. That doesn't mean you're a leader or you know what you're doing.
Because I believe too, man. Even when it comes to a woman, I think all women, and this is just my belief. I think all women are created with caring and love, that
Mhm.
softness. And I think as they go through life, things may make them change from what they truly are. But like a man is created to lead, I truly believe that connecting piece when it comes to a woman is that love and that caring.
Mhm.
And it's
It-
and they
let's just go say it what it is. Like I said, I think a big part of it has to do with economics, man. And when the more women get, the more they find it hard to. So let me ask you this, Jameka.
Yes.
So you saying, and that's not what I said, whatever. It's plenty cats that I know and guys that I don't think that's capable of leading, and I don't agree with that. I don't think just because he's a man or he's a male that he should be a leader or he's qualified to be. No, no, I don't. That's not. I never said that. But I'm talking from the perspective of men that are. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And sometimes that's underestimated by women. And a lot of times, what it comes down to is I have just as many cases, I have more than you. I make more than you. I have this, I got a better position on my job, or I have a higher status than you, right? So why should I listen to you? And that's just the way it is. That's the nature of it. That if many women, and that's the reality. I'm not saying all, but if y'all can say whatever you want, but many women feel if I got more than you, they feel like they've accomplished more than you financially and with titles, positions, and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, why should I have to listen to you? Or I know, and they'll use that trump card. They'll throw it in your face.
Let
You
me
know what
add
I'm saying?
this. Let me add this.
And go
Let
ahead.
me add this. The reason that might be what they're saying, but it's also something else that they see. Because
Mhm.
if a woman has gotten to that level in life, and you may make a little less than her, or your title may be a little bit less, but you have all those other great qualities. I don't see her trying to run left. She may see what you can shake your head, but what I'm
No,
saying is
that's not the case.
yeah, it probably is something else that the man is lacking than that, because
You see what it comes back to? That's what I told you earlier.
He said the man
It's
lacking.
always listen. It's always comes back to the man. See again, the
Well,
accountability. The
right,
I guess.
accountability.
we're talking.
Anytime, listen, this whole thing about relationships, the way it is, whatever, it's always come back to the man. It's all the
You
man's
didn't. You
fault.
didn't.
That's what it
That's
is.
what
That's
we.
what it always comes back to.
Okay,
So
See,
we heard you, Brian. We heard you. Go ahead, Philip.
just saying.
so Brian, I can see what you're saying. So it's no difference. It'll be no different else. Okay, I think people try to date in their category.
Thank
They
Oh,
they
man,
try to
them people
connect.
do
They
that
try to
shit.
connect with people in that category.
They try to connect with people that they like, but don't
Like
always
so,
mean that they
they-
are that some men don't realize they are trying to they're trying to date up
yeah,
higher than they are where they're at in
yeah.
life, and that's just what it
And women
is.
and we get some women that do that too.
And
Wait,
women
wait,
do
wait, 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 wait.
and women
What
do
is
the
the difference?
same, and women do the same
No,
thing.
no.
Yes.
What? So wait. What does that really? What does that really mean? What does that mean?
Let me,
They're trying to date high, whatever. Again, you
I'll tell
talking about
you.
finances and resources, right?
I'll tell you.
That's what you're talking about. Go ahead. See what
It's
I
a
tell
lot
you.
of.
What it comes down to?
Go ahead.
I'm listening. No, tell me what it comes down to. Why when you say on levels and status and all of that kind of stuff, whatever.
Well,
Because me personally, I have seen the woman that on paper and all of that had it all. I was sharing it with somebody not long ago. I said, and they knew it and all of that, and it is what it is. And many times they come around and they come full circle to realize, and I have something to really confess and admit that yeah, I didn't want to listen. I felt like this, or certain things that I nitpick about, or certain things that I was so, meticulous about, and all of these things like that, that I realized, man, that it wasn't that important. And I lost a good man, and I thought of this, that, and the other, whatever, because I thought I was this, that, and the other, whatever. There's some that definitely more and more when you pay attention that confess that. And I've had them personally confess that. I even had one, a good friend of mine. We were just friends, we were cool. We were platonic friends. Broke down in tears. And there's more than women said, I lost a good man. I messed up. And many don't want to do it. What's unfortunate is many don't want to do it like more on the platform, but there's some that do it. But again, most of what you hear on this platform is always come back to the man. It's always the man fault. Men, we own. This is the thing. I can say this, and I'm gonna say this. A lot more men own up to what they've done, and I was sharing this with somebody. I said most men that I know, I'm just honestly, can admit where they missed the mark. They fell short. They could have did better as a man with the woman. That they
Mhm.
let a good one go. They let a good one slip through their hands. A lot of women, when it comes down to you, listen to it, and I'm gonna tell you, listen to it, and just pay attention. And remember, I said this: when you talk to most women, not all, not all, not
We know,
all,
you don't
not
have to keep
all.
saying that. We know you're talking
No,
about me.
no,
So you know,
because it's gonna be said that I'm saying all women. So I'm making it clear that I'm not saying all women. But many will say when you talk about the relationship, when they talk about their past relationship experiences, it's always what he did or what he didn't do. In most cases, they will not take accountability and say, you know what, I could have did this better. And many times I ask the question, I said, well, what did you learn about as far as what you could have did better or did different, right? To say, in other words, in essence, what I'm saying, like, it's always what the man did and what he didn't do.
Well,
So men
okay.
are not just good enough, no matter what. Go ahead.
well, I would say this, Brian, and I hear that a lot. Is what I no listen. I agree with you. I hear that a lot as well. But I think it boils down
Way
to
too much.
every. Remember when years ago you used to go to college, and so when you go to college, they said the first 2 years you do your general education, and you trying to figure out what you want to do in the first 2 years, and then the last 2 years you work in your major. Now, when a person goes to school, they first year, they already know what they want to have and what they want to do when they first sign up their first semester. And so their counselor go ahead and put their classes to where what their goal is because they already know what they want. Even now, you can take before you get to college, you can take dual enrollment classes in high school. Now, but you still know what you want to do. Most people now should know what they want in a relationship and what they want from a person, whether it's a man or a female. And then sometimes it can be selfish, but because I know what I want, that's what I'm gonna go for as far as trying to get. Now, because what I want may not be good for me, it may work out, I may find it, but I already know the type of woman that I want to have at this point in my life now. And so I go looking for that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I got to work through that. And I think that's where we're at now. Most people, some people know what they want. Hey, I want a person, may not make sense. I want a man that make $107,000, $200,000 a year. It don't make sense. Don't mean you're gonna
Yeah.
get it, but
How many?
I
What's
can't
the
knock
percentage?
you.
What's the percentage on those men though? What's the percentage?
It's
Do they
it's
really
it's
know and
it's
understand that?
but so it's a very low. It's very. I mean, the percentage is low,
So
but
if that's the case, let me ask you this. So let's deal with this right quick. So if they really understood really what's the percentage on people and men really making that kind of money, just in general, period, then like wouldn't that seem to be really unrealistic?
no,
Like,
not
like,
really. Because guess what?
no, no, it is. Because
Well,
this is
it's
what
it's
I
a,
was
it's a
telling Jamaica.
choice.
Let me tell you, this is what I was telling you. Yeah, it's a choice that don't make sense, man. I'm cutting through the door.
I'm
Listen,
I'm I'm
the
kind
thing
with
about
you.
it, like I was telling, no, listen, I was telling Jamaica earlier, I said most women have standards for men that most men will never meet. And watch this, it's standards that they don't really match up to, right? But they want what is very unrealistic. It's shit is dreamy, man. It's crazy.
But you,
Like
but
you
I think,
expecting you look, no wait, listen, you expecting something that you're not,
right, but
that you
Brian,
won't
you
even
can't.
measure up to.
Okay.
Brian, you can't put
Man,
it
I'm gonna
just
tell
on
the
the
truth,
women.
man.
That's the truth. I'm with you.
I'm not putting on. Look, that's not every woman. There's some
Right.
women that I know personally. Let me just say the
Okay,
right quick, and
Brian,
I
you
ain't
have
gonna
to
be long.
land. You can't. You have to land at some point though, so we can all talk.
I'm landing, but there's a lot of many women that don't think like that. So I'm not saying all women. There's some women that's very realistic and know what it is right now and where we at and can discern the times we in and ain't on that trip. But there's some a lot. that still are, and some sabotage one another, whatever, with that, and that's a whole nother thing. And so, if we go down that rabbit hole, because a lot of most women don't want to see women with somebody else, so they sabotage them. They tell them, "Girl, I wouldn't do that. He got to have this way," and that ain't something that they got, or that's something they do, or they would do something different. But that's a whole nother thing.
But we can agree that it's a choice. Right? If I go right now and
A
go
choice that
into,
ain't making sense.
but check this out. If I go right now into, I'll say McDonald's, and it's somebody fine that's sitting behind the counter that's taking my order. If I make a choice to engage this person behind this counter, I got to take into consideration everything that I'm engaging into. That, hey, this person here, they work here, they making X amount of dollars. Hey, now I'm at a certain, not to say when I say this, I'm at a certain level when it comes to me living as far as needs I got to have for my household. Now, I know realistically that this person right now that's working at McDonald's, if we were to work together, let's say we was in a relationship, it's going to be one-sided based upon where she's working, because she don't make enough money to help out or to contribute on a realistic basis. Now, do I take the chance and say, hey, you know something? Maybe she hit on hard times. She working here. I'm gonna take a chance. We get in a relationship. You get to know her. Take the time. Hey, you know something? Really, you hit hard times. You need an opportunity, a chance to get you back where you need to be. Hey, that's something. That's a choice and a chance that I decide to make myself. And that's the energy, that's a choice. Now, if I go somewhere in a networking environment and I'm around other business professionals, this and that, I may see somebody different. Hey, because of the networking environment that I'm in, I'm thinking this person may be on a different level, maybe in the same level that I'm in, because we in this environment to a certain degree. Now,
Should be
that's a
very misleading.
that's
Could be
what now?
very misleading. That could be very misleading.
It
And how do
can
I
be
know?
misleading, but
And
it's
I
a but
know, I
it's
know for
but
sure it
it's
is
a
in
but
my
it's
area.
a more favorable chance of that. Hey, I may meet somebody in this other group that's more closer to where we connect and be partners together. Because at the end of the day, as well, I'm still the leader. I'm not giving to get as a person. I'm not giving to get. I'm not. I don't get knocked down for a person make more money than me. No, I don't. I don't get caught up in all of that. But we somewhere in the
Mhm.
same arena. And so here's the thing: we better make the same money, but you better believe we can go together and talk the same talk, or we can communicate, or we know how to act, or we know how in certain areas together. Because hey, that's the type of person that I want to be with.
But see, here's the
Mhm.
problem. We got so much on money and materialism, but we forgot about morals and mentality. See,
Right.
the thing about it is, if people have the right mentality and get back to morally being on point of line with the Most High and and how some of the way things used to be. Now, do I believe we should go back to everything that's traditional? Well, no, I don't think some things back in the day could work the same for us now. I don't believe we should go back to all tradition, but there are some things that we do need to go back to, right?
Okay,
Like when you talk
mhm.
about choices, the problem is we hearing too many voices and we got too many choices. Now that might not make sense, but if you really think about it, that's where it's at right now. And everybody hearing all these voices and their choices, yeah, you should do this, yeah, this, that, and the other, whatever. And everybody got so many choices and nobody don't know what to do. And they got too much. We need to probably go back to some damn arranged marriages or something like that, whatever. I don't know. Because people don't know what they're doing. Men and
Okay,
women both out here afraid and they all jacked up because they got too many choices. They got too many options. They got too many choices. They don't know what to do. But go
okay.
ahead.
Let me read James Hill. Hey James, thank you for stopping in. Bedroom noise. He says women have raised these men that they are complaining about without the fathers in the house. That proof
Yeah.
that's proof that women shouldn't raise children, particular young boys. This is why men today behave like women. They don't know how to lead. He also says women have, oh, sorry. Real men don't care if women, he's dating is educated or rich. Although it may be helpful, it's not important. If a man love a woman, her money and education is
Yeah,
not
I
a
know nothing.
factor to him. However, the wealth is important to her. However, his wealth is important to her. Um,
Facts.
he
That's true.
clarified
Everything
shouldn't
he said.
raise children alone, and then he also said, "I
Facts.
just said that in the okay." He said that.
So
Thank you,
I would
James.
I agree with James. I have a daughter. She's
Facts.
21 years old, and her mom passed when she was 13. And so her aunt has been helping me since her mom passed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know from a man's standpoint, Brian, and now it bothers me sometimes. It's certain conversations that my daughter is not going to have with me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a man. She gonna tell her auntie everything, and I wish that sometimes I'm like, hey, you my child. I'm raising you. I think you should tell me everything. But I know and realize that, hey, you know something? She needs that woman in her life to help her talk through some things. Now,
Yeah.
when it comes
He
to the
do.
man stuff, that being the leader, dad, gonna do the XYZ, I appreciate that. But now I said it has been times that I've been like, man, why you didn't gonna talk to your dad at first?
Let me
But
tell
I
you.
understand.
Let me tell you this, Phillips, though, that even with if her mom was present, she
Oh,
still
I
may
know.
not even go to her mother. So as a woman, I learned very early that even me having my girls in my life, I still put someone else, another female in
Yeah,
their life. So if they didn't want to come to me, because I don't care how cool you think you are,
yeah,
kids don't ever think you're cool. All the friends can think you're cool and everybody can think you're cool, but the kid is never going to think you're cool. So even by having that mom there, she probably would
yeah,
your wife or her
yeah,
mother at the time would have probably had
yeah.
another female there for her so she could go to her if she needed
Yeah.
to say
and,
something.
and that's something that they need. Same thing
Yeah,
with if I had with a son, with a male.
exactly.
A male needs to be able to talk to a male and bond in the right way,
Mm-hmm.
not with no craziness. But males need men. One thing I did not have, and my dad was around until him and my mom divorced when I was like 8 or 9, and I ended up just learning from other males outside of our household on how to act, how to respond. Now, would it been good? I got adopted when I was about 15.
I
Would
was
it been
adopted too.
good to just like to have conversations with your parents about what about doing this? Yes, it will. Some of the choices I made in life probably would have been better if I would have had that sit down, but I didn't. Now,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I said that, hey, what I'm going to do with my child is I don't want you to go down the same road that I went to where I didn't have people to talk to or
Mm-hmm.
have sit downs, and I try to make it my business to do that. I can't talk about everything because hey, I'm a man. You still need that woman, but the bulk of what I can do, I'm gonna make sure that I do that. When she went to school, Brian, went to college. Now she wanted to give us hell. She wanted to be out in the neighborhoods. My daughter been sheltered, but she want to go party while she in high school. I said, listen, now as long as you in this household, you gonna follow my lead, what you can do and what you cannot do. When you go to college next year, all I can do is pray that what we instilled in you, you follow and you make
Mm-hmm.
the best decisions for yourself. Because guess what? You out here in this world, you're gonna be out here in Jackson, Mississippi, by yourself, away from home, 6, 7 hours, and you got to make the best decisions for yourself. Now, can we talk about things and call? Yeah, but I can't hold your hand. Now,
Yeah.
because if you decide to go out and do something that we talked against, then that's a choice that you have decided to make on your own. And we got to do as far as what's gone.
Yeah.
Man, look, the thing about it is man, we like I said, we got to bring some things back. That's just the
We
thing
do.
about it. I mean, we
But
we
I
do.
I think
This,
the
this,
the
this,
brother
you
the
know,
brotherhood, we gotta come back man, we definitely as men, I
Mhm.
really think we got to come back stronger than what we are as a whole.
Absolutely.
And it's sad, man, because we have just let. I mean, when you look out the door, women are in charge.
And Philip, I thank you for saying that. And what I will say also, women have to do better too. Because this is,
Yeah.
people want to do this one side thing and this one side thing, and it's silly as heck to me. When someone says something like you're saying, it's okay to be like, you're absolutely right. You do. Men need to step up. Men need to lead. Men need to take charge. If they want to be in charge, they have to really be in charge, because you can't come halfway in charge when you have these women that are in charge and they know how to take charge. Back in the day, they may not have know how to take charge, but they know how to do it now. So they can see right through somebody that don't know how to take charge and be a leader, even though they think because they're gender, they're supposed to do that. Women, on the other hand, they have to step up and have confidence, not only in themselves, but in the man that they chose to be their man, to lead and guide, and for them to follow. And
That's
when
true.
and they have to start doing something better. But again, you cannot sit up here and talk about you're a man, you're a man, you're a man, you're a leader. It starts with you. That's why Philip is saying men needs to come with a brotherhood, because it starts with you. If you want women to start it first, then you're going to be complaining about women they're acting like men and they're doing this. No, it needs to start with the man first. You guys get yourself together, and then the women can hear that and see that, and then they can take suit to what's going on. But you're so quick, Brian, to want to always look at the other side of things. He's absolutely right. He's saying men need to step up. Men needs to get together, and that's where it starts.
Well, let me say this. Unfortunately, Jamaica, if you, I only wish you could hear the conversation that I've had with guys I know, whatever, and the things I say to guys. You know, here's the thing. I don't want to bring his name up, whatever. Like, I'm not going to bring him in the equation, you know. But anyway, uh, that I don't have any problem with. See, if you really knew me, if you knew the things that I say to guys and that I didn't even know personally and things like that, whatever, that we done had some drag outs behind that, whatever.
You were
Because
just you were just frowning your
no,
face up at Brian when he said it.
no. Listen. Because I know how I hold men accountable. I hold myself accountable. I know I have friends that if I'm on bullshit, they gonna hold me. They gonna tell me the truth. Like we don't lie to each other. We tell each other the truth. When it comes down, if you don't have good business ethics and practice, whatever, we're gonna call you on it. If you don't have a word, you don't have integrity. If you had a good woman, I was telling somebody this earlier, if you had a good woman and you didn't treat her right, and that was the one that you really was the keeper and you should have did right by, and you didn't do right by, whatever, I personally will tell you to your face, dog, what are you doing? Like that's a keeper right there. That's a good woman. You need to do right by whatever. So I know what I'm saying, why I'm saying that, right? Men hold each other accountable more than what you guys realize. We call each other out on things more than what you realize. But women, it's always they escape accountability. I'm not saying that men don't do it. Men, but me, and
We
I can
we
speak
all
from my experience.
we all
We
do.
hold
We
each
all
other.
We
do.
all
We
do.
tell
We
each
do.
We
other
Yeah.
the
all
truth.
do. We
Do.
all
Yeah.
But
do.
no, I'm gonna
We
tell you
all
though. Watch
do.
this. But no, listen. I'm not saying all Jamaica, but a lot of women lie
I
to
said,
each other, and a lot of men uphold women because they're afraid to hear reject. They're afraid that women are not going to receive what they're saying, whatever. But it doesn't matter. I tell men the truth. I tell women the truth. Tell myself the truth. I start with me. I start with the man in the mirror. I don't lie to myself, and I don't lie to no man and to no woman. So I'm not gender biased like you may think or whatever, but I just know when it comes to accountability, women they shun that, they reject it, they don't want to they want to be in positions of being an authority and calling it, but you got to have accountability.
But now, so do
And
you?
that's not in their innate nature. So therefore, when you got a man that in many cases or whatever, right, that's going to be able to take it. Because see, I can take a criticism. I can take you saying, well, look,
okay,
maybe this, that, and the other, whatever, and I'm all right with it, right? And some
okay,
men can't take that. But I had that all my life as a kid. As a kid, I tell the kids where I work in school, You don't get to make excuses. I tell the guys and the boys that. I said when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to make excuses. I wasn't allowed to be complaining about this and that, whatever. My dad said, no, look, you got to find a way. You got to make it right. You got to correct it. That's what I was taught by my father, my uncles, my coaches, and all of whatever. They didn't allow us to make excuses. So I know what I'm saying and why I'm saying it, and I stand in authority to say what I'm saying.
But
Right?
but I guess, Brian, is the word accountability? Is it
It's not.
I'm trying to see what's the it's another word. It ain't accountability. I think you're
Yes.
right in what
No,
you're
it
saying.
is
Accountability
accountability.
goes,
It is accountability.
but it's
It is
another
accountability.
it's
They,
another
they want to look. They want to be able to do what they think. And look, some women have. I told her this early. Very, very talented and gifted. And a lot of our sisters, man, I mean, you can't deny it. It's undeniable. So, see, but you the bad guy, or it seems like you putting things when you tell the truth. Well, I don't care if you criticize me, but if you really listen to pay attention to what I'm saying, I'm not gender biased and I'm not putting it on women. I hold men accountable and responsible, and men understand that. We understand that from younger. But with women now, and when they get into certain place and position, they don't understand it. Why? Like even coming up as a little girl, man, they get to make excuses. They get to whine. They get to complain. We can't do that as males. I don't know how you was raised. I couldn't do that. Right?
Well, I'm gonna, I'm
Like you
gonna, I'm
can't.
gonna, I'm gonna stop you because you make sure you don't go so long.
Okay.
So the thing about it is men are making excuses. They are doing
Not the ones I deal
everything.
with. They're not allowed to do it around me. Not
Okay,
the
so
ones I deal
so
with.
guess what? Guess what, Brian? You're not around all the men in the world. You're around your group of people.
I know
Okay?
enough of them.
Okay. So you're around your group of people. So what I'm saying, these women are not dating just you and you're around your few people that you hang out with. Because even if you hang with 100 people, they're not that's not all the men in the world. Okay. So your little one, you and your 100 people, they're doing absolutely everything right. Cool, 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 cool. We're not talking about them. We're talking about all the billion other men that are in the world that are now are acting. They're not great leaders. They're not. That's why women are not following them. You're not getting a woman who's got a great man and they're not wanting to listen to that great man because they hold a position that's real high, or they have a house or a car or whatever it is with your financial. That's not the case. I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of men that do not know how to lead. Therefore, a lot of women are not listening to them and they're not following them, and they don't want to they don't want to be up under them. They're not. So that is happening in this world. And on the
it
flip
is.
side of that, there are a lot of women that possibly that cannot take lead, and they can't take direction from a man that has all the qualities of a leadership.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just what it is. But what we're not going to do here is be on one side and one side. Everybody has a responsibility of what they're not doing. Some have a higher percentage, and some is at the end of the day, everyone has a percentage. Some are higher, some are lower, but we still are responsible for the part that we play or we don't play in something. And you want to
Right.
talk
I
about you
agree.
and your little 100 friends that's around you. That's not the world that's going on around us. That's not, because if that was the world that you're saying, we would not be in this situation right now. You would be with someone and I would be with someone.
Listen.
Let's
I'm
keep it
all right.
real.
No,
That's true.
let's keep it real. Well, here's the thing. I told you, you said about being single. I said it's time and chance. But here's the thing, though. Man,
No, it's not. It's
I,
it
I,
really is. It's funny because you know what a lot of men are elected to do. Now, I'm just gonna really tell the truth. And I made this statement, and
just go ahead and make it.
Okay, it is what it is. There's a lot of good women, but many don't make good wives. They have, that is what it is. It's qualities. I tell men that. I
well,
tell women
what
that.
do you?
And
I
so
guess.
watch this. Watch this. And with that being said, that's why a lot of men they have given up. Some men ain't giving up on women. Not no heterosexual man that's into women. He ain't give up on women. He just give up on maybe what he thought as far as relationship or being a wife or woman. He know that ain't gonna be no more. So it's like it is what it is. So a lot of women make good girlfriends.
Okay,
But I
what you
think
gonna
They
say,
get they
Philip?
get good friends.
What were you
so.
gonna say,
But
Philip?
I think we still, if I meet somebody, uh, I don't think I'm trying to go to, the marry the next date.
Exactly.
But
Nah, it ain't about that, man. But I'm telling
but
you,
but
they not
seriously,
trained
Let
to.
him, Brian.
They don't know what it look
Let
like.
him land his plane. Let him land his plane.
Well,
Go ahead, Philip.
so if in relationship, it's supposed to be in stages. I think sometimes we put the cart before the horse
All the time we do.
when it comes to relationships. Now,
that
I'm
ain't what
single.
I'm talking
Brian,
about.
you know why I'm single right now?
Why? I'm curious.
Because I'm single right now because I got a vision of where I want to be myself when it comes
Mhm.
to like my lifestyle and my business. I don't even know where y'all. I'm in Atlanta, right? I would say in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Been there. Almost
My
20 years.
vision is for me to go back home. I'm from Macon, Georgia,
Okay.
and we're working on establishing a larger transportation company through the Southeast. Now, that's my
Good
plan.
deal. Awesome.
Now, the woman or girlfriend that if I pursue somebody, I want them to be able to understand where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go this way. They may want to go this way. So I got to be realistic to myself and say, hey, you know something? It may not be the time for me to date right now because I'm at the point that where I'm going to make a move. And I need to make sure when I make this move, I'm making the move right. Now, the people that I'm around, and I go out and date, you talk to people, this and that. Them people, Brian, we ain't on the same page. Good people now. But where they trying to go north, I'm trying to go south.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna even put myself in that predicament to say, hey, and I already know what you're trying to do. I ain't gonna even set myself up for that. So guess what? It's gonna take me a little bit more time to find somebody. Now, maybe I
Man,
need to go on back
I,
down the
listen,
street.
here's the thing. I got what you're saying, and you ain't said nothing wrong, brother. Listen, you ain't saying nothing wrong. I'm right there with you. Believe me. But here's the thing. The real question is, are some women just better off being single or just being a companion and having companionship? I said this years ago or whatever. I said some women, honestly, and again, this was unpopular. I said a lot of women, y'all need to be honest. Y'all don't really want a husband to be in no relationship like that. Y'all don't want that. Y'all want a good sex partner and a travel companion. Let's be honest. And I know that sounds crazy and that sounds what, but it's true.
But
A
it
lot
can
of
be
Some
that.
women, a lot of women,
a,
look, watch
a
this.
lot.
A lot of women don't want to be married. They don't want to be a wife,
Well, it's a
rather.
bunch
I'm
of
gonna say,
men that don't want to be married.
but
Because
no, but listen. But the truth is, and y'all ain't gonna agree with this. A lot of men don't want to be that because a lot of women don't want to be wives. And look, that don't make them a bad person. That don't make them a bad woman. They don't want to be. They're not trained and made to be. They don't know what it looks like. And that's not
Brian,
criticism. That's just a reality.
Brian, a lot of
Mhm.
women, there's some women that do not want to be wives. There's some women that would like to have a
Right.
companion and a sex partner. There are some. There are others who desire. Why you always laugh? Like what's
No, I'm just
funny? What's
no. It's
funny?
not. Nothing. You ain't saying nothing wrong. I'm laughing at the reality of what it is. You ain't saying nothing wrong, Jamaica. Don't. It ain't like that. Don't. No. It's all good. Listen, through all of this, real men, masculine men, heterosexual men, we ain't never stopped loving women. We ain't gonna stop liking them. We just change our relationship dynamic. That's all. That's all. So a lot of us, what I'm saying is, in essence, a lot of us are single and are maybe deal with different women or date like that by default. So I'm saying more men it don't really necessarily choose like that and always want to be like that, but they say, well, hey, uh, this is what it is. Until I find that one that's want to be that wife or woman to me like that, then I'll just date. I'll have good companions. I'll have good situationships. I'll have good friends with benefits. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And many women, that's what they want. They don't want to be.
But
I've had women to say there's a lot of women. If honestly, if you have one, a lot of them, when it comes down, they will really confess. Some try to say they want to be married or want to have a husband, or they will want to be a husband, and a lot of them want the status and title of that, right? Because it's like it's bragging rights. It's it's a status thing. But for the most part, they don't want to be a wife, what is known as a wife. Like going back to what I said, Jameka, a lot of men haven't changed what it is they want in a woman and a wife, but women have. And that's not to make it a right or wrong, or good or bad. It just is what it is, right? So what if men a lot of chose to do whatever? We still love women, we adore women, we admire them, and all of that. But we say, guess what? Well,
so
can't
what
really
does it?
can't
So
make them
what
be no
is it?
wife. So we gonna have I'm gonna have a good companion, or maybe a couple of them,
So
and so that's what it is.
Okay, go ahead, Philip.
so Brian, what's the definition of a wife or a man?
Well, that's more about the man. Every man don't want exactly the same thing, but I tell you what, it's not complicated. Most men, what they want is real simple. That's not the same
Okay,
exactly
so
for every man.
answer the question. Then what's the answer to the question?
That's not exactly the same for every man. What that is what it is.
No,
What's your answer?
but
You
you
know.
What will be your answer to it then? You answer it yourself then.
because you just said. I mean, I'm going on what you say because you just said what a man wants as a wife. So what does a man want in a wife?
What would you want as a wife, Brian? Because you always go around the
Look.
mulberry bush.
No, it ain't no around the bird. Loyalty, humility, submission, being cooperative, right? All of those things like that women think that's an insult. That's like cussing. It's like blasphemy to them. It's like, what? Submit? What? What? I need to do all that. I ain't doing all like, no, I ain't doing all that. Good women, but they just don't want
I,
to be that.
I
They
have a
don't
question.
look, I follow man. Look, I'm telling you some of the qualities, right? To know,
I have a
go
question,
ahead.
Brian. How many
Mm-hmm.
women have you dated? How many women have you dated or tried to date?
Oh. I'm
Because
gonna try to do that. I can't
no,
count that.
a lot, right?
I can't count. Yeah, I can't number that.
A lot,
Okay, well, yeah.
a lot. Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
that says a lot. So
No, so maybe to
all
you,
these
but
women, you dated a lot of women, right? So all these
I never
women that you have selected and involved. No, you
no,
shaking
I'm
your
not.
head, and you're shaking your head. You don't even know what I'm saying.
No, no, not what you're saying about what I'm thinking. No, don't get it wrong. You ain't saying nothing wrong. See, again, you misread me. No, I'm not saying nothing wrong what you're saying.
Okay, so
I
I'm.
I would just say this. It wasn't always on the women. There was a time in the season for a good season in my life. I did not want to be married. I did not want to be in an exclusive relationship. So I'm not putting it all on the women, but there were some cases where I did, and it just didn't work out like that. It just wasn't, just like what Philip was saying earlier about the experience of having older women, and I laughed when he was saying that because I've experienced that where some they like, look, well, I just need you to do this. I'm like, no, you don't understand me. You got all this number. That don't mean that I'm still gonna be the man. It don't matter. Like your money and what you got or whatever, that don't mean nothing to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm still gonna be the man. And what I'm used to and what I know as a woman being to me, like again, not you gonna be my slave and I'm just gonna control you. And no, it ain't like that. But I'm still gonna be the man. I'm still gonna be the head. I'm still gonna be the lead. I'm still gonna be more dominant than you. And that's the only way it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be like being your helpmeet and submitting to you like that or whatever. That's out of order to me. That's not what I'm about. You understand? And so if you don't see me as a man, and a woman that watch this, let me just establish it. I've been wanting to say this. A woman that's not following a man's lead, it's not about uh something so much wrong with him or this and that with it. They're just not compatible like that. They just don't, that's just not the man for her or not the woman for. So we got to keep that in consideration, right? We got to realize that everybody just ain't don't connect like that,
And
right?
that's what
So it
right.
ain't all about who's right or wrong. But there are some cases, again, where some had to admit, man, I just was on what I was on, and I didn't want to listen. I just thought I knew. You just couldn't. And so you said it earlier yourself, Jameka, that sometimes some women they just don't want to listen to no man, and that's the real of it.
True. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But we ain't mad at them. You know, it is what it is, man. We ain't never stopped loving our women. We ain't gonna stop. It is what it is. So again, but the relationship dynamic just changed. That's all.
But the woman wanna. But the woman wanna. The woman at the end of the day wants that love and that care.
Yeah, yeah.
If you when you strip away the money, strip away the title, this and that, at the end of the day, they want to be loved and
I
cared
agree.
for.
And men
Right.
want
I
to, and
agree.
men want respect.
Yep, that's it.
Exactly. Exactly. And so it's like this. A woman gonna see a man as a man she dealing with or the man that's for her. And that's just ain't no in between. It just is what it is. So if I'm not the man, that's cool, right? Men, we can accept that, but some of the things that we saying that we know that is right, whatever, and you reject and you like want to be non-compliant and like, there's a difference, right? If we just not compatible, that's somewhat different, and I understand the difference. But in
And
some
so, Brian,
cases,
but that and
some
so
just
you
not trying
agree.
to. They just not trying to hear certain things. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Like they just know what they know, and man, I got what I got. I am who I am. I do what I do, and I don't have to listen, and I don't want to. And so, therefore, it comes back to many would rather be like they are until many they start to get older. And some I tell this, watch this, some I tell this, and it's not a and don't y'all need to hear me clearly on this. Some I tell. I said there's one where I work. I said, look, you feel the way the way you feel, and you saying what you're saying. You say you still want to be married to a husband. She's never been married, right? Got a son, in her 40s up. I say, closer you get to them 50s, you're gonna start to see more what I'm trying to tell you. Like right now, you ain't trying to hear certain things, and you think you still got a lot of time, and you think you got a whole lot of, and you think you know what you want. I say, but it's gonna change. It's gonna change, and you're gonna see the older you get, the harder it get, right? The older you get, and I remember hearing that years ago, and I used to say, man, why they saying that? Whatever. But now I understand it a whole lot more because that's just the way it is. And it's not about making people so bad or everybody so bad or something they're so wrong about them. Is that people get in their way and they just know what they know, and you can't tell it is what it is. They ain't trying to hear it. See? So guess what? You don't fight. So sometimes, whatever, if you like a person, you deal with them, you think y'all can have good companionship relation, you just gotta just roll with it where it's at. Like this is where, you know, and I found with some experiences, it was sweet and it stayed great long as we stayed right there and we didn't try to take it to that next level. And it was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I think it all depends on who the person you're dealing with is. Because I'm gonna tell you, it does. You can laugh all day long. It does. It's all about who the person is dealing with. So I know this for sure. I've seen this happen a few times. I've seen 60, 70, and 80-year-old people get married.
Hmm.
So that always tells me
Yeah.
that as much as you're trying to say the older you get, it's going to be hard. No, it's because it's all about being humble
So,
and being patient and waiting for God
yeah.
to bring, if you believe in God
Yeah.
or your higher power, to bring you that person. And if it takes me 50 years old or 60 or 70 or 80, I'd rather do that than to sit up there and talk about, oh, I'm just going to just settle with a companion that I could just travel with and have sex with. That's just absolutely just crazy. And if that's not what you really want to do, if that's what you settling for, then that's fine. But that does not have to be your reality. Not everybody wants something to happen right away and it has to happen here. I can wait if it's not until I'm 50, 60 or 70 or whatever age it is, then Oh well, but I'm not going to sit up here and settle because, oh, I'm getting of age. Because what I know these days, you got 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old women looking real good. No, having no problem in getting and the young ones. I just saw Auntie, whatever her name, Tia, whatever her name is, she got a 20-something-year-old, and she, whatever age she is, so
So
you
they
have
get
women that are
married.
they're engaged. They're engaged. Why you sitting up
So
there
how
trying to
many?
make a
Wait,
point?
no, no. Listen, how many? So you think is that an exception, or you think that's really what's happening right now? And you think how many? How many that's really happening for like that? Let's be honest. What's
Which
the
part are you
percentage?
asking?
What's the percentage of women that age getting with younger men or people like that? What's the percentage of that?
Hey, yeah,
A
And
yeah,
even
lot
the
yeah.
of
seven
young, a
and
lot of older women are
Women are getting younger
dating
men.
or messing with younger men. A lot of younger,
oh, that's
a
good.
lot. Can I
That's not
finish?
new.
Can
Go
I
ahead. Go ahead.
finish? A
Go ahead.
lot of young men are attracted. I know that because they holler at me all the time. So a lot of
Hey,
younger men are wanting to date. And I'm not talking about a few years here or there. I'm talking about 20. I had to tell this little boy in the airport, he was 20 years old. I had to tell this
so
little boy, 20 years old at the airport, little boy.
okay, watch this.
It was another this happens all the time. They are attracted to older women, these young men, and a lot of them have more class and have more a lot of them have there's a few that I'm like, oh my gosh, you act older than some, wiser. There's some that are wise. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So really, let's look at and let's try to find out really what's the percentage of younger men really marrying and settle down with women that's older.
Okay,
First of all,
according to you, it don't even matter about being married. You are okay
no,
with
no,
a
no, I
woman.
didn't say
You're
that.
okay
I
with a
didn't.
woman being okay to travel and just have sex with them. So now all of a sudden, when it's the woman's side, we want to be talking about
No,
marriage and
no,
everything else.
no. But I'm telling you a reality. I know that you might not listen. It is what it is. First of all, you got to understand something. That ain't nothing new. Younger men, been dealing with old. I've, as a man, younger dealt with older women. So that's nothing new. There ain't nothing new under the sun. See, if you know, you know. Watch
Well, I
this.
say so,
No,
Brian.
no, no,
I
no,
say,
let
Go
me
ahead,
just say
Philip.
this.
okay.
It is what it is. That's nothing new. But the
Okay, I've got the.
percentage of men, younger men, really marrying and settle down and having a life with a woman, that's something totally different. But go on. Go ahead, Philip.
So I think the dynamics have changed. At one point, it was more, say younger men, older women, just for the companionship. Mainly, you make me feel good.
Yes.
Maybe for the sex.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
have more.
you think a lot of these young
Let
men
him
really
land.
trying
Let
to
him
marry?
land. Let him land,
I'm just
Brian.
asking.
Let
I'm
him
just
land.
asking.
Go
I
ahead,
think
Phil.
it's and so now I think you have more younger men going for older women, not just for the sex part, but they going for the more. It's a different mindset,
It is.
and so it's a different mindset of the women that you have to choose from at a young age now. And
They're
so
they're not they're not trying to just play with the older women. These
the
men are,
conversation is different.
yeah,
It's
Okay.
trying to
it's
tell
it's
you.
it's a
I'm
whole
trying to
Okay.
tell
different.
you.
And I say this, Brian. I got caught
Okay.
up.
Here you go
Listen,
laughing.
Yeah.
Brian.
Crazy.
I got caught
Well,
up at
y'all
a
ain't ready
young
for the
age.
truth.
I've always, and hey, y'all put my stuff on Facebook. Hey, it is what it is. I think naturally, I have had a thing for older women since I was born.
Oh no, that's right.
Literally.
I've had that too. So we I can relate to that.
And so, but not just from a, I ain't talking about just from a sexual thing, but
I ain't just talking about that either.
I'm from now, my adopted family own funeral homes. Brian, when I got into working inside of the business and I had to start interacting with more adults older than me, man, it was a different ball game. Me and my dad, we fight. He get on me all the we fuss. We not in literally fight, but he's like, man, you just like the older women. I said, well, daddy, what else do I know? The environment that I was placed in, you put me in this environment to where This is what I swam in. And so I connected with people. And so, but now at the time, I had you didn't have it was more sexual back then. I would say with me, but now you got more people, man, that were with an older woman. Hey, let me talk to you because our conversation, what you
Wisdom,
want to do is
discernment.
the wisdom is a whole different environment now, and you don't
Okay.
find that in most young girls now, young women now, because guess what? They so influenced now by what they see on TV, the internet, social
Watch it.
media,
You talking about the women now. Watch,
TikTok.
watch it. She
Seriously,
gonna get you.
to where it's
She gonna
like
get you.
their mindset is totally different. And
I agree.
Real.
so we
I
had to
agree.
sit there and now, Brian, it's hard that now. Now they gonna give you a time for your money, but it's like they gonna put you through that little time frame. Just trying to see if you're really serious. You got to beat them down. But at the end of the day, I think if you stick to it, if you want something, it's worth the wait. It's like they got that guard, but once you get that guard down, now don't still be who you are. Don't get the guard down and flip to the other side. But it works, man, because you sit around, man, and try to have a conversation now with people your age, and you be listening like you say, "What now? What you want to do?"
What?
It's like, no, we let me move on.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, Philip? I ain't got nothing problem with you said, and nothing with just. You know what? You ain't said nothing wrong, brother. But when I said that about women, see, I know that was gonna strike a chord with Jamaica, and she taking that a certain way. When I said about women, I said that's what women choosing. I ain't say that's all men choosing. A lot of women will say and will tell you, "I don't want to live with no man. I don't want to be, but this is all I want." Whatever. I literally had women. There were women. One that took. She just want a situationship. You may
Uh-huh.
not believe, but some.
I
That's
believe
where
you.
they at. So
I
the
was
idea of it. So if a man, if you as a man, you like a woman and y'all great and you're cool, whatever. So you're gonna be like, not deal with the woman. In some cases, you're gonna be like, yeah, we have fun together, we enjoy one another. And again, this ain't just about sex. I say that about the
no,
sex part, but some women, they really that's where they at. You know,
and
they
but
want a
you
companion. They want. They have. They'll say they got their needs,
yeah,
and that need to get met. But they don't want to live with no man. They don't want to be married to no man. They don't want to be nobody's wife. They literally say that, and I'm
and when
not. I'm
and,
not
and when
demonizing them for it,
and
but that's the truth.
when they find the
and the
right
right
one,
person.
when they
Yeah,
find the right one
they
and the
change that.
one, they will change their mind,
Yeah,
and that's what they will do. But they're
Not
not
all
going to deal,
cases.
they're not going to trust and believe. If they found the right one, they're telling you that. But when they find the right one and the right person,
See that
they
right
are
there.
going to change their mind. Trust and
Okay.
believe.
You think, huh?
now
I know.
I was just gonna ask a question too, Brian. What you were saying. Now I did have a conversation with somebody probably 2 weeks ago, and they were on this thing about because it's like, okay, do you want to be in a relationship with somebody? It's like, no, I don't want to be in a relationship. She's wet. Oh, late. She's 50. So she don't be in a relationship. She want to date. Well, no, take this back. She don't want to be a wife. She want to get married, but she want companionship.
Hmm.
Now, with that, she said even to the thing to where if she got married, they can stay in separate houses. And I said, huh? She
Man,
said,
some of them on that kind of
she
stuff. I'm
said I
telling
would. She said I would. Yeah, I would. It would be fine for me to stay in separate houses. I said, well, what if? Because they said, well, I want to be around my family. In another city, this and that. I said, well, but what if you wanted some chicken wings one night, and your boyfriend 80 miles away from me? What you do? I just go get my own. But I'm like, well, you can't.
you.
That's
You see that? That's what
Let
I'm
him,
saying.
I want him to
So
finish. I want him to finish so I
go
can
ahead.
hear the
Go
whole
ahead. My
thing.
bad. Go
And
ahead. Go
so she
ahead.
was like, it just when it comes to relationships now, because she sees so much that's going on with other people, it deters her from really just want to lock in and be with somebody like that.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And I said, okay, okay, I can respect that. But then I heard somebody, and I don't know, somebody famous was on TV, was talking about they married some superstar celebrity or something, but they stay in separate houses, but they married.
You
Mhm.
talking about, yeah,
Um,
you girl, the actors, yeah, I know you talking about. Yeah. And to
So,
me, watch
so
this. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
you have a lot of people who are playing defense now. More people right now are playing defense. There's so many more people on defense than offense, and we all know you need both to win the game,
well,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And so what has happened when you sharing that lady's story is that I'm not going to say that a lot of women are opting out of not, or some women are opting out of actually being married and living with each other, you know, with their significant other and all that, because they are scared. And men have to step up to the plate and take accountability, as we were using that word this tonight, take accountability. That's if it wasn't them, their males have made women scared to decide to want to get married again, do another marriage or do another live in or do another even relationship with a man, right? So again, they don't need them financially, but a lot of women wouldn't mind having one, wanting
Mhm,
one,
yeah.
but because they don't want to go through the things that they have went through. And you can sit up and Brian, maybe you were 100% never did anything wrong to a woman all your whole life, but you have to understand that you could take responsibility if you did do something to a woman in your time that you've been on earth, that woman may have decided that she does not want to ever deal with a man that serious ever again because of not you, because you're probably perfect, but
Nice.
a lot of
Man.
men who have done stuff in life, maybe not to that woman, that same exact woman, but many women, not one, not two, but even three or four women that they have messed over or hurt, purposely hurt. And now you have age and you're talking about all these women are talking this way and talking this way. You have to understand, that's what I'm saying. Do you spend time and even ask these women why they think that way? Why are they
Mhm.
feeling this way? They're going to tell you because they are on defense. Nobody wants to play offense these days because offense
But
hurt.
I agree, and I've said
Yeah,
this though, Jamaica. I said both men and women today are scared and are afraid because there are men that's bitter and scorned, and
yeah,
that's
true.
still
Yeah,
wounded and hurt from relationships as well, where they gave everything and didn't want whatever. So and women underestimate that, right? Because a man ain't supposed to talk about that. He ain't supposed. He got to be strong. He got to be tough. He got to act like he good or whatever. But there's a lot of dudes that's really still hurt and still haven't healed, right? From things that they've done everything given. They wasn't cheating. They did everything and did the right thing, and still was not good enough, right? And I mean, relatives, people I know, I mean, of people I know, people I know of. It's a lot of things. I mean, you see it on all levels. I mean, you see dudes that's wealthy, rich, that we be considered handsome, all of these things and qualities, and look what some of them have gone through. She want to divorce and take half and do this and that, whatever. She want to be on her own. She don't want to be. I mean, look at the Steph Curry's wife and all that, whatever. Come on now. Come on now. She still want attention for. She talking about she don't get it. What? Are you serious? Are you serious? You living a life that women dream of, and it's not only her, it's others, but yet you still got a problem with that?
And then I
See?
also have to correct you on that real fast. What bothers me the most is when people speak about what's going on in someone's home.
Uh,
You do not know what's going on in someone's home until you live with them. And so, and I'm gonna tell you this. What you say, Philip?
that's true. That's true.
And I'm gonna tell you this: people do this all the time because they see what they see on TV, and they see how because he has all this money, and she see how she's living, and see all this. But you do not know what is going on in someone's house until you live in their home. And I don't care how she steps out and what you think is going on. That's wonderful and great. You don't know what's going on. So for you to talk about somebody's relationship without knowing what's going on in their house is immature and actually ignorant because that woman, he could be doing all kind of stuff to her or not doing
okay.
stuff to her, and
Um,
the reason why she wanted to seek attention. Because he show up and they come out in public looking a certain way, does not mean the house looked that way. So we don't know. And I've always said this, it does not matter what the world thinks my relationship looks like. What matters the most is what is going on inside my home. So because I've been in a relationship when I stepped out, everybody thought it was glamour and wonderful and great and happy and everything. And when I was inside that house, it was not like that.
First of all, let me say this. You saying, that's immature and ignorant. Well, guess what? How in the hell will we know about it unless she didn't open her mouth and say it? She the one talked about that. She the one put it out there, whatever. So I'm going off of what she said. And any woman with any maturity and
Brian, what I'm saying to you,
let me finish. Can I finish?
You're quoting it wrong.
I'm not quoting it wrong.
What I said was, I'm commenting on the part.
I'm not going to talk over you. Go ahead.
I'm commenting on the part. I'm commenting on the part where you say she has all this going on for herself and she's still looking for this and this and this. That's the part that I'm commenting on. And that's the part that you don't know what's going on in their home.
No, she said, listen, please, let me just say this. And then you could just go it on and say whatever you want to say. She said what she said. I'm going off what she said. First of all, you as a woman, certain things you shouldn't say like that about your husband and put out there like that or whatever. She put that out there. So you saying talk about things we don't know. I'm talking about what this woman said. So we wouldn't even know if she wouldn't have said it. Certain things that she should not even say about a husband like that. When she got a man that she never accused him of him cheating or doing this and doing that like a lot of these other guys do, right? And so for you to say the things you say or whatever, you don't say that like that and put that out about your man, whatever. So I'm going by what she said.
What did she put out? What did she say?
She's saying about talking about attention from another man and all of that.
No, what did she say? What did she say?
Can you listen? That's what I'm trying to tell you. She would desire attention from another man and she don't get attention like that. And she wish she did. Why? For what? Why you need attention from another man when you got a man that's giving you a life that women dream of? Why
did you just hear what you said?
Can I say what else you said? Okay. Can I say what? Listen, can I finish? So
go ahead.
He's saying that about your husband. Why would you have the need to say that? When this man has done what he's doing and giving you a life like that, and you putting it out there like that, you talking about with the relationship, she put it out there like that. And she said, well, guys, and I'm telling you what it said. You can go look it up for yourself. I'm not making it up. She talked about the idea of, even in that circle, let's just put it like that. She talked about guys not even looking at or making a pass or not even talking to a certain way or keeping their distance. And you know what I told people? I said, what would you expect? I said, you should respect that. The idea, men not doing that, that's respect to Steph. They respect him that they not even going to look at his woman like that and look at his wife. That's a credit to your man. That's a credit to your husband of what kind of guy you with. They respect him enough to not even make no justice towards her, to not even give her that kind of, not even look at her in no way. You should appreciate that. You should be grateful that you got a man like that. Why would you say something like that? That don't even make sense. And if you did have that conversation, it shouldn't be out in the public. It should be in private with maybe your girlfriends or something like that. Now, that is what it is. So you're going to say I'm wrong for saying something about it. She's wrong for putting it out there in the public like that. That's a private conversation.
So can I speak? May I speak?
Go ahead.
May I speak? You missed the whole point while you all on 20. You missed the whole point. Right?
Okay,
while you on 20, you missed the whole point. What I said to you.
My point.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you missed my point. I'm just saying. You said you talked about like as I'm saying something. I'm going off of what the woman said, and if anything, what she said is she felt like that. Some things you don't say like that in the public. That's embarrassing. That's disrespectful to your husband. You can say what you want. Now you don't have to agree, and I don't care if you don't agree with me, but I stand on that. I'm only saying that, and some of us only saying that because she said it. She put it out there, and she shouldn't have. And if I was him, any woman that did like that, whatever, man, I'll be done. I'm through. You can go it on and have all the attention and men you want, whatever, because apparently what I've done for you is not enough. Okay, cool. I ain't mad at you. Go live your life. I wish you just go do your thing. I'm gonna take care of these children. It's good. You can go live your life, darling. Go do your thing. I ain't mad at it because one thing about it, well, how we come up was raised, if a woman don't want to be with you, you let her go. You let her go do her thing. And you ain't no hate, no mouse with it. You get the choice to choose you want. You don't want to love me. I'm not good enough no more. All that I done did for you, go ahead, do your thing. It's all right. I hope you find what you're looking for. You good. Go do your thing. So that was disrespectful what she said. And by the way, I've been around circle, whatever, and I know of people personally that I will not mention above, that somebody that's in the league and all that gave the woman everything, and it was not good enough. And I'm like, oh my God. It blows my mind. So it is what it is. That's just the way it is. And we can go on and on and on, not just celebrities, but in a lot of cases in every arena. In every arena, there's some that it ain't no matter what. They just want something else. But I would like to say some things that people ain't ready for to hear, whatever. And I know you would want to hear that why we do the way we do and why we move the way we move. It is what it is, and it's not all on us. Some men, yeah, they do wrong. Men been doing wrong. I ain't up here trying to advocate for men like men they ain't never do no wrong in person or whatever. Like I told you earlier, I call dudes on things were wrong with it. I call myself on things, whatever, when some things I've fallen short or I missed the mark. So it ain't about that. But again, on the other side, there's no accountability. And you got some men that want to go along to get along, and they just want to just go agree or whatever because they don't want to be rejected. They don't want to hear criticism. But I don't care about being criticized. I'm going to say the truth. It is what it is.
You're going to say your truth because it doesn't mean it's the truth.
But I love you.
Okay, so are you done so someone else can speak?
Go ahead.
You go on and on.
Yeah,
Philip, do you have any? I have a lot to say, but Philip, do you have anything that you want to add or say?
Well, you were trying to say something.
I was, but
so I'm let you say what you gotta say, and then I'm gonna hold one of my comments.
Yeah, I'm the one that take it long, whatever, because what I'm saying ain't likable, but I get it. Yeah,
no, you just take the whole time. You do take. You and you repeat the same thing. So I mean, it takes up a lot of the time, and no one else gets to say anything, or we lose what we want to say because you've taken all the time. So you said a lot of things. On one hand, earlier in the podcast, you talked about people not giving up on when somebody make a mistake and everybody just want to give up and have get a divorce and stuff like that. You talked about that. Now this time you're saying because it's on his wife that's what he needs to do is just give up and divorce her because she's not satisfied. So you have two things that you're going on, but. So that's one point. The other point that I'm going to make real clear is that she came on. This is what I do know. A woman in her if she said that I'm not getting it, I don't get any attention or whatever, it's stating that just because he provides for her financially doesn't mean that's all she needs. So if he's he could be, you don't know, like I said, you don't know what's going on. So he could be complimenting every woman that goes by. And I know this, I've been in this position before, that a man will compliment and look at every woman and never give his own woman compliments. It happens. And so therefore a woman gets resentment and they feel some kind of way because a man, I'm not trying to say a man is blind and he can't see another beautiful woman. And she can even look with him to see another beautiful woman. But if he gives all these women all these compliments all the time and he never gives his own woman compliments, she's going to feel some way. I'm sorry. That's how it's going to happen. Okay. So for you to say, no, because I'm going to finish. No, I'm going to finish. And so the fact.
I just want to ask a quick question. Do you know if that's what he did?
I'm going to finish. So because and like you don't know that he does do it either.
No,
so
that's what I'm saying. You don't know either, though. You don't know if that's the case.
You just said that what she said. You just came out and said what she said.
No, I said what she said, but you saying what he probably didn't do, but you don't know if that's what he did, do you?
And
Do
I
you
never,
know it whether or not he
I'm giving you an
complimented?
example of why if you just listen, you might can hear something and understand something.
But you
You
speculating.
might,
Go ahead. You
you might,
speculating. You're right. You're speculating though.
and you are too.
No, see, but you doing just you
Well,
saying what you
You
think. I'm
heard you
telling
okay,
you
heard
what he
so
one
said.
side of the story. You never heard him because he's never came out and said a word. You heard one side of the story. You did not hear the other side of the
Right, because
story.
he's
So that
smart enough
means
not
that
to do that.
and when
well,
you take one side of a story and draw a conclusion, that's ignorance.
No,
By
it's not.
definition. By
No, I
definition,
didn't run
that's
on one side.
ignorance.
I went off of what she said. You're
so
speculating, saying what he probably did. He never said he did it, and she never said he did it. But I'm telling you what she said. So I'm not the one
well,
speculating. I'm telling you
okay.
what she said, and that
Go
she
ahead,
shouldn't have
Philip.
made it
Go ahead,
public and
Philip. Go
said
ahead,
that.
Philip. Go ahead, Philip.
So see,
So that's that.
as a in what you're saying, as an individual, she said how she felt,
Period.
and I mean, you can't. If a person feel a certain way,
They feel a certain way.
they feel a certain way. Ain't nothing I can do to make you. It's almost like if you ask me a question like, "Hey, when you and Brian, you said women ask a question and we'll give an answer, they can't believe it. Well, hey, listen, this is my answer. Now, if you don't believe it, I can't make you believe what you don't want to believe. But this is my answer. This how I
So,
feel.
so
And
you think
also,
it was all right for her to say that?
let me
Well,
say this part. Let me say this part.
I'm asking Philip that.
No,
Do you
no,
think that was
but this is
cool? How would you felt if your wife would have said that like that openly
Philip,
in the
Philip,
public?
Philip, with all due respect, let me say this, please. Regardless of, let me say this, Philip, thank you.
okay.
So, what I'm saying too, another point that I'm about to make that's going to help you understand something before and not even need to ask Philip this question. I'm gonna tell you this, that there's many times where a woman have tried her best to have a conversation with her man inside the home. I'm not saying it's right and I'm not saying it's wrong, but and I've been in this position as well. That there's many times where in over years that I've tried to have a conversation inside the home that was not heard, was not received, was not respected, and it didn't go anywhere. It comes to a point in life when that doesn't happen that you have to get on a bigger stage and say it to actually be heard. That's what you think you have to do and to be heard.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, let me finish, please. I'm not saying that is right and I'm not saying that is wrong, but it is a time where a woman will do that because they have been
Mm,
trying their
mm,
best to
mm.
be heard and seen and they have not gotten his attention that way. So now she got his attention because now everybody's about to hear it. Not to say that is right or not to say that is wrong, but that's what a person has to go to sometimes.
Not to say that is right.
Go
Well,
ahead,
okay.
Philip. Go
Well,
ahead, Philip.
okay. Look,
Yeah,
no,
but
yeah, I know
now,
you don't want to hear what I gotta say, but it's cool.
no,
Go ahead, Philip.
Brian, and she right, and she
No, man.
there.
See how when it came to the woman, it's
No,
not
no,
right
no,
or
no, no,
wrong.
no.
But when the man, he wrong if he did.
I
But
never
it's
said he
not the
was
right.
wrong. I never said he was
No,
wrong.
you said that the man you called him about he not giving attention, which we don't know that. But it's not right or wrong whether she did whatever. Well, I'm standing on it. It's wrong. If she had that conversation privately, that's something different. She shouldn't have never had it publicly, and you could say whatever you want. I'm never going to agree with that. She should have put that out there like that about her
Okay,
husband like that.
you've
No.
been hurt. You've been heard. Go ahead, Philip.
I think
Oh, shit.
so, Brian. I think we can. We're in a different we're in a different age now,
Man,
a different era.
boy, I want to say some stuff. Lord have mercy.
Please stop cutting
Woo.
them off, Brian.
I ain't cutting him off.
Try to
I'm just
control your
talking. I'm
temperature.
listening.
Try to
I'm
control your
good. I'm
temperature.
good. I'm good. No,
But
look,
you're
you don't
cutting,
have no problem.
but you're cutting him off.
No,
So try to
no,
control
I'm
your
not cutting him
temperature.
off. I'm not cutting him off. I'm saying what I'm
You're
saying. I'm
you're
listening to the
talking when
man. Go ahead.
you're talking when he's
Go, fella.
talking.
Go, fella.
So
Go,
if you have
fella.
to,
So,
just mute yourself.
Go,
and
fella.
what
I'm good.
and what
Watch me now.
she was just saying, like, it's whether we don't know if it's right or wrong, but a person, how I feel, I should be able to express how I feel when I want to.
Yeah, to your husband privately.
And so I wouldn't say it wouldn't, that's not a communication wise. It could be yes or no. I mean, I think we're trying to box it in because they married.
Hey, boy.
We we box it in because you say that because hey, you want her to be submissive. So if anything she got to say, she don't have she can't have a public opinion or she can't talk publicly. The only time she can have a conversation is got to be at the house. And so then the conversation at the house, then that gives me approval to say what I need to say outside of the house. But if I'm living in this world and this is our world, sometimes people use the platform like she's like, and I can agree, they use the
Mm.
platform in the world that they're in. Because guess what? When they're together and they're out here doing things together publicly and making a difference, and it's good, oh, it's fine. You can talk the talk all you want to. You can smile and kiss in public. You can do this and that. But then when something go wrong, then the conversation got to be in the closet or behind closed doors.
Why should it be public?
Did you hear anything
Why
that I
should it be
said?
public?
Did you hear anything that I said?
Why should that have to be public? No, that
Did you hear
doesn't make it
anything that I
right,
said?
Jameka.
Did
We
you hear anything
listen.
that I said?
We're not gonna agree on that, so it's cool. Cause I'm
Okay.
not. There's no way you're gonna get me to agree on that woman
I
should
don't.
have still spoke that
I didn't
So
ask
publicly.
you to. I didn't ask you to
Well,
agree. I said.
no, it's not. It
I
wasn't true.
asked
It's
you.
not
Did you?
right.
I asked you. Did
And
you hear
even
what I
what?
said?
Yes, I did, and I don't agree.
Okay. Period. Okay. So then let's move on. Then you're fine. I mean,
hey,
I don't.
so at the end of
Philip
the
dancing
day,
around, and he don't want to tell you the truth what he really thinks. But I know what it. That's why he's
no,
taking his time and trying to use his words carefully because he
no,
don't want you
no, no,
to come
no,
at him. But I don't
no,
mind
no,
you
no,
rejecting
Brian,
You,
me.
you,
Brian,
I don't
Brian,
mind you
Brian,
coming at me.
Brian,
I'm all right
Brian.
with it. I'm not mad at you for you not accepting what I say. I'm all
you need
right
to.
with
You
you.
need to. You need to learn how to control your temperature for real,
I
though.
know. I don't need to do what I do. I am who I am.
But
It is
hey,
what it
Brian.
is.
And one of the things it does show that in reality, even though she has the crib, the cash, and the cars,
Means nothing
that does not make her happy.
at all.
Did I
Thank
say
And
you.
that?
she's
Thank you. Yes, you said she
What?
has all of this, and she shouldn't have. Actually, yes, she has all this. She shouldn't even be complaining about nothing. She should
What?
not come publicly. She shouldn't say anything because she has all of this. That's all you talked about. You didn't talk
Did,
about that she could be getting abused at home. You didn't
yeah.
talk about that she could be getting neglected at
is she
home.
though?
You didn't talk about any of that because we don't
Is
know
she?
what goes on in someone's home.
Is she? There's other people that come out about being abused and say something without being disrespectful. He's never
Brian,
been
we're
accused
talking
of
about
cheating.
this. We're talking about
He,
this
he
situation, and I'm
he's
telling you,
never,
we
but
don't
he's
know
never
what's
been
going on
accused.
in someone
He's
else's
a
home.
he's a reputable guy and he's a stand-up guy. He's never been accused of cheating, of being disrespectful.
Doesn't
He's
mean that he
never
has
been
never
accused of
cheated.
any of that.
Doesn't mean that he has never
He's
cheated.
never been accused of anything
It
like that.
doesn't mean just because you haven't, she never put it out there, or because he
Okay,
hasn't said it, doesn't mean he hasn't cheated.
but
You act like
you
you know.
saying
You
whether or
act
not he
like you
made
know
it.
him. You
You
don't
saying
know
maybe
him.
he did. But what I'm saying is there's other guys that has been put out there like that about what they've
So, and
done,
there's
but he's
other
not
guys that
one of them.
hasn't been put out there that has done it and hasn't been put out there. Not everybody has been
Okay.
put out there. You
But
don't
she
know
should have
that. You
put that
don't.
out there.
Again, you don't know what goes on in someone else's house. Period.
You don't know either. You that's what I'm saying. But what I'm talking about what she said though. I just said she didn't have to say that publicly. You
Oh
don't
Lord
say
have
that
mercy.
publicly.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
just that. And you want
Okay.
to make it right, and I understand. And I'm not. We like I said, it's cool. We're not gonna agree on that, and you're not gonna make that right to me. That she said that publicly about her husband. You could have that conversation privately. You don't do that. That man ain't been. That man is a stand-up guy, and he's a reputable
Okay,
guy.
but
Check his record.
He's a stand-up guy. You don't even know him.
Check his record. Check his
You don't
record.
even
But
know
what
it.
I'm saying,
You don't
yeah,
even know him.
well, let me say
You
this.
know him on watching Warriors play ball. You don't know
How
that
do you
man.
know? All right. So let me tell you this: a connection, whatever. Somebody, watch this.
That's
Well,
ignorant
let me say
talk.
this: how much they know is somebody that knew
That's
somebody
ignorant
that
talk.
know him? Do you
Oh,
ever I'm just saying. You ever listen to somebody know about? Let me ask you this: I know
You don't
somebody
sound it.
that hold
You,
up,
you, you
listen.
don't sound
Whether you want to
intelligent
do,
right now. I'm
I
trying to tell
know,
you.
don't understand. I said, wait, what? Now you gonna get like that with
You,
Jamaica?
No,
I'm
but
saying you don't
right.
because
You go no.
you
I'm about
don't
to
know
tell
the
you something, but
man.
you're not listening to what I'm saying. I listen. I know somebody that know him when he was a child that lived next door to him.
Okay.
You think I'm lying? In Charlotte.
So can I tell you this, Brian?
That's
I don't care if
facts.
you.
Do
I'm gonna tell
you
you
think
this.
I'm lying?
I'm gonna tell you this. Can you
So
want me to
so that so
do you want
I
me
know
to
I
answer
would
the
have a
question?
chance to know more
Do
about
you
him
want
than
me to
you.
answer the question? You asked me
I'm
a
just
question. Do you want
saying.
me to
I would
answer
have a
it?
chance to know about him more than you.
Do you want me to answer the
Somebody I
question?
know personally that lived that was his next door neighbor. Now you
Um,
think I'm lying?
do you want me to answer you?
Go ahead.
God,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you, Brian. I'm gonna tell you this. We're not gonna be able to continue this conversation if you're not gonna be able to. I can't do this because you ask me a question and then you keep talking. So if you want to know the answer, you have to allow me to say the answer. The
Yeah,
answer
well,
to
you've
that
done the same thing. You didn't come here. Go ahead.
the answer to that question is if you and if I've known you for 80 years, I can know you for 80 years. If I don't live with you, I don't know you. Okay? If I don't live with you, I don't know you. And I'm going to tell you this, your mama may know you, but until she lives with you, she will have to relearn you. You don't know anybody until you live with them. That's the answer.
Uh, okay, I'm gonna say this. I could say something, but I'm not going to say. Right? I'm talking about what the things
But you know,
about concerning, and I'm not going to say it out of respect. I'm not going to say it whatever. That's something that I know that you don't know, and I'm not going to say it out of respect.
Of course
Right?
not.
So what? And this is what I would say, Jamaica. You said something that probably could be happening, but it's not of a surety. I just said that what she said she shouldn't have said it publicly. I didn't scorn the woman. I didn't say, oh, she low down, she no good. I said it just wasn't right for her to say that publicly. If she had that conversation privately, I don't see why you guys can't understand that. Am I wrong for saying that she should have, if she had that conversation privately with those
Okay.
women, that
So
would
it's
be
a question
something
on the
different.
table. So can
But
we
you
answer
try
it?
to, no, listen, the only problem is what I got with you. You try to justify it and still make, you say it's not either right or wrong. That's not right.
I would,
And,
I
and,
would,
we, and we're not going to agree on that. She shouldn't have had that conversation public and said that about her husband. You don't do that. You don't do that. Go ahead, Philip. I know you want to say something.
I think, I think your perspective, you come from a standpoint of a lot of stuff. This from this conversation, that that submissive part, like a woman shouldn't, like a person shouldn't speak freely on how they feel, and that it has to be. We've been on. Well, I've been on about 2 hours or something, but I understand what you're saying. But I think we're in a. I say again, man, we're definitely in a different. We're in a different era now where people want to speak their opinion. Now, is it right to speak his opinion at time? No. I I tell my daughter dealing with her boyfriend. Um, we had a situation where they went to breakfast one morning, and she's pregnant. You know, we got the Waffle House. I don't know where y'all located, but we got a Waffle House in Georgia, and so they had the booths at the chairs at the counter. Well, they go in, it's crowded, and he sits down. You know, he grabs a chair, sits down, and don't pull a chair out for her, and she gets offended, which she should, because from a man's standpoint, he should, help her sit down. Well, she speaks her opinion at that time in front of everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and so then he gets upset because she called him out in front of everybody. Now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I agree that the conversation should have probably been this because you know what you're dealing with. Some people
Mm-hmm.
take stuff and they go with it. There may not have been a problem to say, okay, I'm sorry, dog, baby, I won't do it. Then some people you got to talk to, in a different environment,
Mm-hmm.
but you know how to have a conversation with a person from being around them. And so I told my daughter, I said, hey, you know who you're dealing with.
You're not gonna make me do that.
You should have, hey, just probably just waited till you got in the car. But in public, hey, but everybody is that you're different.
So
But you
Philip,
know that.
So Philip, you're what you're saying is absolutely right. And what you're saying is that there's no one walking around here perfect. No one's walking around here perfect. So I'm gonna tell you what your daughter did. I'm pretty sure it was a learning experience. She's going to know now how to handle a situation like that again. If that ever comes up again, she's going to know how to whoever's in the weight room. Give me 1 second. Let me land, and then I'll check it. Give me a second. She's going to learn how the next time when they have a disagreement like that, that she's going to know how to do it. This Curry and Aisha, if I'm saying her name correctly, I never heard her ever come out and say anything about their relationship or their marriage or what have you. If she hasn't learned, she's probably going to learn from that situation that that wasn't the best way of doing it at all. Like me, in my marriage, when I was married, I did something similar to that. For years and years and years, I argued about one topic for so many years privately. Nobody knew how it was. When we stepped out, everybody thought we were the what do you call it? We're like a power couple. People thought we were a power couple. And everybody looked at us the way we stepped out, that we were the it, right? And what I got tired of is that argument that I was having behind closed doors, but we walk out here and everybody think we are just this power couple. And so what I did was one Sunday, and yeah, I did it. I did it. One Sunday, I stood up. I didn't say what it was, but I told the church, because I was telling him, if we can't get this done, I'm not going to keep living my life like that. We're going to get a divorce. And so all the times when I was trying to have those conversations with him, years and years and years and years and years, I got tired of trying my best to handle it the way I was supposed to handle it. And so therefore I went to church and I was like, we're going to divorce you guys. And the church was like, oh my God, oh my God. And everybody, and then it was, Jameka, you should have said that out loud. You should have said that. But no one knew how many years I've been saying this behind the closed doors, how many years I've been saying this. And when now I got your attention, because now you're embarrassed, and now possibly you can hear me out. You know what I mean? And so I know what it is to be trying to have a man, for a woman to try to hear him, for a man to want to hear her out years and years and years, and he does not hear her out. I don't know what happened in that relationship, in that house, because I don't live there. But I know what a quality woman, an outstanding woman, could also make a mistake and say, you know what, if I can't get your attention because I've been telling you this and telling you this, I'm going to take it here and I'm going to tell the world about it now. And that, to me, is probably what could have happened. I don't know that. But I know he didn't marry no woman, no ding ding woman that would go out here and just start announcing stuff to the world, because she hasn't did it no other time. But I can trust and believe, I can believe that woman probably has tried to get his attention in some way to say X, Y, and Z. And then one other part that I'm going to say before I land is this. We don't know if that man is a good quality man. We know what we see on TV and what we hear. You don't know what a man is until you live with a man. You don't know what a woman is until you live with a woman. Even if you raise that child, you don't know how she is or how he is until you live with them. That's the honest truth.
Gotcha. Now it makes sense why you said what you said. I get it. I get it.
I
And
don't
I
care
think that's
what you did.
I
I
think
get it.
that's
And
in
to no
general.
disrespect to your daughter, man, no disrespect about her. Not saying she's a bad woman, and please, but honestly, if a woman did like that and called me out in front of whatever, that was probably the last time she'll get a chance to do that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but
Because
now I said this
that'll
right
probably be
here.
the last
You're
time.
forever advocating women. You're forever advocating for people to stick with it and stay in relationships and stuff like
Right,
that. Then the first thing you're talking about, you need to
that
get out of here. Boy,
some
bye.
things you don't cross the line with, right?
Well,
That
but
don't mean I'm
also
supposed to just take
now,
anything
Brian,
like
I
that,
said
whatever.
this right here to
Because
her.
watch this, my
Go ahead,
mother.
Philip.
I'm gonna just go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Well,
I said
listen, I
this
was
to
just
her. I
go
said,
ahead.
you know something? And I told her, I said, you probably should have just waited till you got in the car and said something. I did tell her that. Now, the second thing I told her, you can't sit here and raise no man now.
You're right. That
So
part.
it's
If you don't
certain
know how to put the chair
things,
out,
yeah, it's certain things that a man's supposed to do, but you can't. I don't want you raising nobody because they now people do. But how you ought to be treated, you ain't got to keep trying to, grow your own man to take care of you. No, we ain't doing that. I don't want you doing that.
should be teaching and training and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. I
No,
don't want you
no,
doing that. No,
nobody's doing that.
no, no,
But
no, no.
again, I talked about earlier, everybody takes a percentage in in the situation. You know what I mean? Everybody
Mhm.
played a role in that situation. It wasn't a one-sided situation. It's everybody played a role, and hopefully everyone learns from it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if she can continue to repeat, and that's what she do, that's fine. But that's why some people are where they're at, because one mistake, you're out of here. You know, everybody's so easy to counsel and dispose of people. Learn people. Some people need to learn. Your child sounds like she's still young.
Yeah.
Aisha is still young. You know what I mean? These are not these women that's been in the world all these years, and they should know, and they should know. You learn by making mistakes. That's how
Yeah.
you
Well,
learn.
And then it
I
takes
would say
two.
this.
It
Let me
takes
just say
two.
this.
I think
Absolutely
it
takes two
takes
Right.
to,
two. And I think
yeah.
I would say
Brian, and you
this.
Go
said it
ahead.
earlier. You
It takes
said it.
two.
It takes two people, and then also too, Brian. You said something earlier about it takes a group. It takes the company that you associate with to help you.
Mhm.
It takes that mentoring to where even with her, we hope that she got some people that can pull her to the side and like, hey, look here, baby, hey,
Don't do that.
you shouldn't have
Yeah.
did that X Y Z.
Hmm.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. So I'm gonna say that's about your daughter with that situation. I said probably wouldn't get a chance because we would have had a real conversation, right? We'd have had a real conversation, and it depended on how she would have responded to what I had to say, to whether or not we'd have went further. That's why I say she probably wouldn't get a chance, whatever. Because if she couldn't have admit and own that you didn't need to do that, you didn't need to say that like that, and that was wrong for you to do that, that
Crazy.
would have been a problem. That would have been a problem. If she didn't want to be accountable, if there was no accountability, then guess what? So now, if I let that go, you're gonna continue to
That's
do that
crazy as
again or
hell.
whatever, and that's not gonna happen. Well, it's crazy as hell to you, but I'm a man. Look, it
No,
is
what
what it
I'm
is.
saying is
But
what I'm
hold
saying
up,
is crazy is that you're
no,
switching it. You're
But it's
switching
that's
it
but
I'm
but
because
but
not
Brian,
switching
that's
it.
correct.
I'm
That's
saying is
that's
he's gonna do that.
constructive
Now,
criticism.
Philip, you did admit that hey, you told her you probably should have waited. You got in the
Yeah,
cover. What I'm saying as the man, if I'm her man, we would have had the conversation. Now I would have had that. I would have, like I've been where a woman probably said something or did something that I didn't agree with. Maybe she didn't really call me out like that, but something she said or whatever, and we had a conversation. And I handled myself with it. I didn't blow up. I didn't go off. I didn't trip. But we had a conversation in private, right? And when she admit that, okay, yeah, I didn't say that, did that, and whatever, she got to understand that that wasn't cool. That's okay. We all right. We can move on for that. So, Jameka, I'm not saying about doing no mistakes, whatever. It's how you respond. It's how you receive the correction. Now, you try to give me correction about that or whatever, and I can say, okay, yeah, I could have did that. But now in private, I'm trying to tell you and give you correction. You can't receive my correction. Well, that's a wrap. No, because it ain't gonna be one side. It ain't gonna be you gonna tell me, you gonna call me out publicly. And when I address something privately with you and say you didn't have to do that, you're not going to be accountable. You're not going to own that. Well, guess what? That's it. That's good. I wish you well. I wish you the best. That's it.
Welcome
We
to
done.
Welcome to Bedroom Noise, you guys. Thank you for being here, my friends. If you want to come up, I need you to participate at least in the chat so I can kind of see where let me participate a little bit in the chat so I'll kind of get your energy and vibe and things like that. And then I can possibly bring you up. But thanks again for joining Bedroom Noise.
This is what I was saying about accountability, Philip. That's what I was saying. Like, it's all right for you to say that, but then if I do it to you respectfully and private, and you gonna have a problem with it, and you ain't gonna be able to own your part and admit that you didn't have to do that, and that wasn't cool for you to do that, call me out like that in public,
Okay, so
like in front of everybody.
I have something to
Nah,
say. I have something to
Nah,
say. So Philip, you shared the
nah.
story. You shared the story, and you said that you talked to her, and what I heard with Brian was, oh no, I would be done with her. I can did it.
See, now you didn't you ain't gonna repeat everything else I just said. I didn't just stay with that. I said first of all, I said she probably wouldn't get a chance to do that again, and I said probably. Then I explained why. I said it would depend on how the conversation go once I address it and with her and I privately. See, don't do me that. See, you
Okay.
don't like what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying is right and true. And if you don't agree, I understand it. It's all right. But I stand on what I stand on, and you know it's right. That ain't cool. But you know, it is what it is. I get it. And
I never
the
said
reason, no, the
I
reason
never said it
why
was I
it
never said
came
it was
out why
cool.
you attacked me, the why you attacked me the way you did is because you explained you did something similar. And I say, boom, there it is. I get it. I get it. So I understand. I understand. It is what it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Um,
It comes
okay.
out.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. And the thing about this is, men will tell you all day long, don't use something I tell you against me. They will tell
Hmm.
you that
Yeah.
all day long. They want you to say, I want a woman that I can tell you something, but I can't because soon as I tell you, you use it against me. And this is a prime example that you just
Mm-mm.
did what a lot of men say they don't like to do. I shared the
No,
story. I shared the story to give you
don't
another
do that.
perspective of possibly what have happened in that relationship, in that
But you're
situation.
speculating. What if she
I'm kind of done with you, Brian. I'm not going to
what
even
if
hold
she
you.
because of that? I'm just
No,
saying. See,
I'm
but
kind
yeah,
of
but
but
so
hold up. What I'm
Brian.
saying, Jameka,
I'm kind of
you're
done with you.
speculating.
I'm
But
not
what
going
if she's
Brian.
been abusing him? What if she's been
So
doing him that? Because watch this. If she bold enough to say certain things publicly, then sometimes what a person to say out publicly, what would they say privately, or what's she been doing privately? What if that's not the case? See, you saying a what if. And I could say a what if too.
just
See,
like
but
you did.
one thing we do know, she said it, and guess what? I'm glad that he didn't respond. He didn't put nothing out there public. He didn't say that. He didn't address it. He didn't say nothing and correct her publicly or nothing like that. He didn't respond to it. Right. So I give him his props for that. Because he
but
was cool about it and he
Go ahead, Philip.
held himself. He said, I'm not gonna get into that.
okay,
Okay.
Right? I'm
do
sure
you
they had a
think
conversation probably privately, but okay.
now do you think because he's the superstar that
It
and
doesn't
most
matter.
no
Some
no
cats
no
say
no
stuff
no
than what they gonna
listen
say regardless.
Brian,
Brian,
no no
I want him to finish and land before you
Go
keep
ahead. My
breaking up.
bad.
Good
Go ahead.
Lord.
and I say
Go
that
ahead.
most high profile people have people that will course them in when to respond and not to respond.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Oh,
because even though and it helps them because they want them to say the wrong thing.
Exactly. He's
Sometimes, and we see this, and we look at a pattern at certain things. When we should talk, man, it's like if somebody, I love women, Brian. I love women. I ain't got a whole bunch of, I'm just when I say I love women, I like women. Now, if somebody
I do too,
came
Philip.
and said that I was
What the
gay,
hell you think? Huh?
it
Go
would
ahead,
not.
Philip.
I would not need a PR person. I would not need anybody to talk for me. I'm gonna say what I gotta say myself because I know who I am and what I like. It ain't no ifs, ands, or but about it. Now, when it comes to some other things, because guess what? If they had an argument or something, and she said that somebody made, they might have made her take a little small argument or something and blew it out of proportion. And then sometimes, something, they probably say, hey, don't say nothing because it may open another door for something else.
Oh,
But it's I just truly believe That is PR people like, hey man, look here. Don't say nothing. Just let them
And,
handle
and
it.
and also too, at the
I
same
wish
time,
Tiger Woods
even
would have had that. We me and my boys joke about Tiger, like, man, Tiger, why you driving? Why you down there acting crazy, drinking and driving on
yeah,
drugs? Get you a driver.
simple.
You don't need to be driving. Just get somebody to drive, and you can do what you need to do. But okay, that's it.
So Philip, can you guys hear me?
I can.
Okay, so another thing on top of that, not only with the PR person that he has, but just because somebody do wrong does not mean you have to do wrong, right? So that could have been another thing that
Yeah.
because she did X doesn't mean that I need to come back and do it. You don't even need a PR person or whoever
That's
these
true.
people. You don't even need that kind of a person to tell you that. He goes, what I'm not going to do is make the same mistake you did.
That's
And
true.
hopefully you learn from that mistake. You know what I mean? So
Right,
that could have been
right.
another
That's
thing that
true.
he did or so or what have
I
you. I don't
just said
know.
I'm glad he didn't. I'm just saying I'm glad he
Yeah.
didn't. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. That's a good
You
point.
know.
That's true too. Yeah. Cause some things you don't entertain too as well. Like, somebody say something.
And you guys got to remember, I didn't even totally condemn. I said I don't. That's not that. If that was a private conversation, I won't think it's all wrong because maybe she did need to vent or whatever. But you have to do it in the public? That's really what I was saying. Did you have to take that to the public and say that some things you just don't need to say in public, whether you're a celebrity or not? See, why is that wrong?
That's true.
Yeah. What we were saying, you probably didn't hear, that people are not they're not perfect. And sometimes when you're younger and not older, that you don't always know the right thing to do. You learn by making a mistake. You learn by making an error. Like Philip's daughter and like Aisha, she's not as old as some of us. She is younger. At that time, she was younger. So she might have made a mistake and maybe she did. I never heard her say anything before this, and I've never heard her say anything after this. And only thing that reason when I gave my example of what I thought, and I used myself as an example, not that I was thought that it was going to be used against me, was because I know from experience that you can sometimes get very frustrated within a relationship and instead of being proactive, you're reactive. I know now that that wasn't right, or maybe that wasn't to do. And to be honest, and I can still to this day say, you know what, I wasn't wrong if I wanted to go there. I just know now that I know I would have handled that situation a little bit differently. Although I've said it for 7 years, where I stood and tried to have it a private conversation. I could have had it 7 more years, I guess, because as a woman, I'm supposed to continue to keep on, making sure that I protect him and not embarrass him, even though I have felt embarrassed, although I've been feeling but my job as a woman is to go another 20 years and feel, long as I'm going to not say anything that's going to make anybody feel any way, that I need to keep on just being in this. But I didn't do that. And therefore, yeah, I feel now I know that maybe I should have did something different. But it's not, and that's not why I'm fighting so hard for this. I'm just want to tell that there's another side of stuff sometimes that we don't know. That's all that point was. It wasn't the point to say, oh, because that happened to me, I want to defend it. I will say to this day, I was still wrong for it. So why would I defend something that I know what I did was wrong? I'm just telling you give you an example of why she could have went that direction. That's all. I know it's 2 o'clock here. That's all I'm saying. So we don't know what it is. Again, I don't care if you know somebody that
But
knows somebody that knows somebody. You don't know what's going on in their house until you live there. And I'm gonna stand on that.
Jamaica, I gotta say this and address this, Jamaica. How it's not. It wasn't about using anything against you. I simply
Exactly.
said,
That's exactly what you did.
no.
Exactly what you did.
Can I please finish? I just said this. I said now I understand why you said it and why you was really.
No, but you didn't. But you don't
No, I
understand.
did. I'm telling you why I said what I said. I said I understand. I get it. I
But
get
you
why
don't.
you
But you
said
didn't.
what possibility of that, because no, you took it as is, whatever, like it was a shot at you and it was throwing it back at. No,
It
you
was.
shared that you did something similar, and I said, oh, okay, maybe that's why you feeling like that's a possibility would happen. But you took it like me using against. No, that's not. That's saying, okay, I understand. Now it makes sense why you said what probably happened or could have happened, and because you did something similar. How was that using something against you? That's just saying I
You
understand. If
you
I
you
if I
you
did something, if somebody did something similar to me and they react a certain way and I do, then I could say, well, I could kind of understand why maybe they did, because I went through the same thing. That's all I was saying. Like, I get it. I get it now. I get it. That's all I said. But to say I use it against you, that's unfair right there. That's saying like I just try to take a jet. No, that is what it is. So you was very passionate about it, Jameka, because you said you did something similar. I said, oh, okay, now I see why, she know how she felt. She know how that she was in a similar situation. And so she had to say it out loud or whatever from others or whatever, because she felt like she was been hurt, and said, now I get why you're saying what you're saying.
And then you listen to you listen to the neighbor, so you got some upper hand information.
No, I didn't say no. See,
I
that's
did
that.
joke.
Now you see again. You speculating because I didn't say what I heard. What I
But you
know
was
from the
saying you was
neighbor.
talking about the
you just said
neighbor.
all that about the neighbor.
You know the
I said
neighbor.
no. Listen, she was going on to say what I know. I'm just saying. I say, I'm just saying to say I probably might know more than what you think I know. That's all. That's all that's really saying, because she was adamant about you don't know, you don't know, you don't know.
You don't
It's
know.
it's a
You
lot
would
of.
never know. And you
Listen,
would never
listen,
know.
bro. How do you know that? Then? How do you know that? I can tell you this
You just
honestly.
asked me a question. Can I
Look,
answer it?
you took a look. I didn't been in a company and around celebrity that you got on a picture with or whatever, and I can name or whatever. You don't know that.
Can I answer the
In
question or
the
no?
same room, look, in the same room, not just standing by, not in the same room, socializing in a mix with somebody you took a picture with that's a celebrity on your page, but you don't
Can I
know that.
can I answer the question?
Okay. See, you don't know.
Can I answer the
You don't
question?
know who don't know what I know.
Can I answer the question
Go ahead.
without being interrupted?
See, you know, he's taking the time. Go ahead, boy. She don't like when I talk. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. On
It's
my
all
platform,
good.
thank you for the
You
permission that I
still
am
love me.
receiving. Thank you for the permission.
This is sweet.
Oh man, boy. She been coming at me hard tonight.
Where
Ooh,
I get your
Lord.
hall pass.
Man, it's all right.
So again, I don't care who you know that I take a picture with. Not impressive at all. I don't care who you knew that knew him for 80 years since they were in kindergarten and they played in the sandbox together. I will stand on this, and I know this for facts. You will
Okay.
never, ever know anybody unless you live with them. You can
Okay.
birth a kid and know that kid for 30, 80 years until you live back with them again. You would have to relearn that kid all over again. I know that from experience. My daughter went to school in LA for 4 years. And when she got back home after she graduated, I had to learn that girl all over again. I
Over
birthed
here.
her.
Mm.
I raised her. She only been gone for 4 years. And I had to get to re-know her because she's been gone on her own for 4 years. Although she came back on holidays and breaks and things like that, I still had to re-know her again. So you can't tell me because you know somebody that knows somebody from somebody that knows somebody that they were playing in the sandbox together, or somebody on my timeline that I took a picture with and you sat in a room with them as if you know them. You don't know them. You will never know nobody. A husband and a
Okay.
wife are the
Got it.
closest that you will ever get to knowing
Got it.
who a person really is. And that's
All right. I
facts.
got it. I got you. I got you. Well,
You don't have to
hey,
get me. I ain't asking you to get me. I'm
no,
telling
no,
you
I'm
the
saying I
facts.
got you. Maybe I do, but maybe I don't. But you still don't know what I know. That's all.
That's
Again,
fair.
you would never know them until you live. Have you lived with him?
Okay, you don't. It don't
Have you
matter.
lived? Have you lived with him?
So let me ask you this. So
Have
let
you?
me ask you
No,
this.
I'm asking you. Have
No,
you
no,
lived
no,
with
no,
him,
no. Let me
Brian?
ask you a point.
Brian, I
No,
asked a question.
no,
Have
I
you
haven't.
lived with him?
No, but guess what though?
Okay.
You said, but you speculated on something, but you don't know either though. That's why I made the point. I said, well, how well do you know? I mean, you said, well, she probably this, and I'm saying that may not be the case. My point was, I didn't go about what happened behind what they life or whatever. You did. I said she shouldn't have said what she said publicly. That was my point. You went to saying about what could have happened and what she may be going through. And this. So it sounds like you talking more like you might know what's going on. I never talked about what's going on in people's house. I didn't say that. You did. I just said what she said publicly was not cool. That's what I said.
So, Brian, you actually said that you know that he's a good man. You
Oh, I just said that messing with you and Jess, man. I don't know them people like that. What I'm saying, I said I probably know more than what you think I know. That's all. You were saying so adamantly like you know who I know and what I know, and you don't. So
okay?
same way you saying I don't wait, watch this. The same way, my point is the same way you saying I don't know a person living in their house, whatever. I'm saying you keep talking about what I don't know. You don't know what I know and who I know. That was my point. That's why I was joking with you and message saying, and that's what I said was actually that's true. That's fact. So I was just saying that in jest to show you saying something that I don't know, but you saying something that you don't know. Because
Okay.
you don't know who I know, and you don't know really what I know. That's facts. And I never got into what was going on in their home. I said she shouldn't have said what she said publicly, and y'all know it's the truth. And you admit in your own way, but you didn't want to just come out and say, yeah, she wrong to say that. Philip skated around a little bit, then he finally said it. But then you said it, you didn't want to say directly, just say, no, she shouldn't have did that. You didn't want to say that. And then it came out why you didn't want to say that. And I understand now why you didn't want to say that. But she shouldn't have said it. And I stand on that. See? Simple.
Okay. Anything else you want to add, Brian?
Man, at the end of the day, it going back to what I said about a lot of things. Uh, I'm just I just say things that a lot of people think and men say that they don't have the courage to say. And I don't mind the criticism. I don't mind the backlash. But it is what it is, man. And like you said, Philip, believe me, brother, you don't no man don't love no women no more than I do. And I love them enough to tell them the truth in love and with respect. So anything that I said about any of them, I mean, just check it. It wasn't nothing disrespectful. It wasn't nothing derogatory. It wasn't nothing demeaning. It wasn't nothing condescending at all. But I love them enough to tell them the truth. And the idea is so we can coexist or whatever. But I'm not the type of guy to go along to get along. And I don't care about if you don't like what I said, whatever. But what if I'm saying it's true? It is what it is. And so, man, I got backbone, not wishbone. I wasn't raised like that to be that type of cat or whatever. I don't care about who don't. I'm the type of guy that have been in rooms where everybody opposed me, where everybody didn't agree and was against me. And I stood my ground. That's just who what I'm made of, and I'm a build. I don't care about that. I don't care about being liked. I don't care about being accepted. I don't care about being rejected. It doesn't matter. I am who I am, and I'm going to say what I'm saying. I stand what I stand on. And those who really know me know I got love for everybody. And I got great love for women and respect for them. But I'm going to tell you the truth. So that's what I rest on.
Truth and love.
Okay. That is great. I am going to okay, well, if you don't have any more to say, Brian, I will chat with you soon. Thank you for joining us this night.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Bedroom noise is something else.
Yeah, don't be disrespectful on my podcast. It's
What you mean
some
disrespectful? What you talking about? Why
you
you
said it's
trying to
something
check me
else.
like that?
Something else meaning what?
I
What's
said it's
something else
something
mean?
else, man. What is wrong with that? See how you trying to see Jameka. Come on now. Don't do that like that. I said it was quite interesting. I said this is something else. What's wrong with that? What are you getting from that?
That's fine.
Hmm?
My apology. If it wasn't intended, I apologize. Please accept it.
See how you going?
I just apologize. I just
Oh,
apologize.
it's all good. I understand. I understand. Believe me when I say I understand. Oh man.
Okay, well, you have a good night.
You too. Good night.
Good night.
Right.
So if there's anyone, I'm actually going to be ending pretty soon here, but if again, I'm not, you have to be active in the chat before I bring you up because I have to kind of get a little feel for you or what have you. You can't just come up without me. And I do this. Have you ever watched have you ever watched Bedroom Noise, Philip?
Hey, this is my first time.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I normally come on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
On Thursday. So tonight I just came on just because we were having a conversation. I was like, you want to bring it to Bedroom Noise to have it? Because anytime we can get some good conversation going about relationship. So
Okay.
I do a podcast. It's called Bedroom Noise. And that name is just to get attention of, it's kind of like you when you write a book and you need to get the attention of the audience to read your book. You kind of have to, put a title out there. But it started because of my my internet sucks in my house. Like it works great upstairs, but it's horrible downstairs. And so one time when I was thinking about starting the podcast, I said, you know what, I'm going to end up having to have the podcast in my bedroom. And so I was going to, and then I said it's going to be bedroom talk. And then I'm like, oh wait a minute, I like that, but I didn't want to use the word talk, And I just
Yes.
know in the bedroom there's all kind of noises, right? Sometimes we fight in there, sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's all kind of noises that go on in the bedroom. So I just thought instead of saying talk, I would say noise, bedroom noise. So it just took off. So that's the meaning of it. But everyone, of course, takes it as if it's this more like a sexual kind of a thing. So but yeah, I started it probably last this past Thursday was our 11th podcast that we
Oh,
did.
okay.
And
Nice.
yeah, so I've been talking anything from so my saying is it's a grown and sexy intimate relationship chatter with myself. And I normally say, let's get undressed and talk about and chat about it. And undress it's just meaning choosing to be emotional, vulnerable, being completely exposed, dropping your guard and stripping of our defenses. And then I always talk about that every conversation is an opportunity to explore the many ways we connect emotionally, um, physically, sexually, and intellectually through active listening, emotional regulation, which I didn't practice tonight, radical empathy, and curiosity. Uh-oh, sorry. People calling me. Can you hear me still?
I can. Yeah.
Okay, sometime when they call, it interrupts my thing. And then the mission of Bedroom Noise is to restore, repair, rebuild, and reconnect love and relationship. So that's what my podcast is all about. And so what I normally do is I'll
Good.
always bring a male on so we can have the balance between the male and the female. And my podcast is I'm not reinventing anything. These are topics that's been around forever.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
My goal is to try to see how we can start resolving some of these things. So we just don't put them on the table at Bedroom Noise. We try to resolve them and try to hear the man's perspective and hear the woman's perspective. But some things my nerves can't take. Some things I just like, and I could do better and I could practice. And I didn't do a really great job tonight, I don't think. But
Yeah. But I think it's needed now. History has a way of repeating itself,
yeah.
and so to one of the things that we don't do is a lot. We don't talk about things and talk to people because sometimes we think when we talk, it's crazy, and
Mm-hmm.
I understand this. But I think more and more as we live day to day, it's constantly showing us that hey, we need to talk things out.
Yeah.
Listen. And when you would listen, how I might have thought my perspective may change on how I feel about something if I listen.
Yes. Yes. And that has happened here. I've thought for years about a certain particular thing. And then now after I heard, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can look at it this way now.
Yeah,
And that happens. But if you come in here and you already have it where this is just the law and this is
yeah,
what it is, there's
yeah.
no changing, there's then you're not going to get anything from it. All it's going to be is an argument. That's all it's going to be. If you don't come and hear anything but what you have
Yeah,
since 1962 been thinking and saying,
yeah,
that's all you're gonna hear.
yeah. And that was one of the things, like even like when Brian was talking about, even when it comes to women, 1970s. Hey, somebody finally realized that hey, women need to vote too,
Yeah.
so they pushed for it.
Yeah.
So when they push for it, that mean hey, okay, it bring you to the table like everybody else. So you equal. And then
Yeah.
everybody's interpretation is totally different. It's no different than it's sometimes it hurts us in the justice system to where a judge 5 years ago might have said, "Hey, this person guilty," and then 5 years now, another judge will come and say, "Well, they were innocent."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how they look at the evidence and what their perspective is, it's like, hey, it changes.
The technology
Yeah,
and the information now is different. They
it's
done found out that officer was crooked and what
yeah,
I mean, all kind of things get revealed, right?
yeah,
And things
yeah.
change. There's nothing wrong with change. And
No,
what I want to what was frustrating to me tonight is that I don't want us to do, and I've always said this about bedroom noise. This is not about men against women.
yeah,
I'm a woman and I want to get a man in my life. You are a man and you want a woman in
yeah.
your life. So if we're going to be playing this man against woman, we're never going to
It
come
will never
together.
be. Yeah,
It's
never.
never going to happen. So tonight, that's why I'm saying I didn't do a really good job because I played into that. And as the facilitator of bedroom noise, I needed to be in control of, let's get back to this. This is not about you against me or him against her. This is not this about. And I think a lot of people walk around here and that is what they're actually doing. They're playing that. The men are right and the women are right. I can't. What doesn't make sense for me to go talk to all my group of women and have this conversation with, or you to go talk to all your group of men and have these conversations when you don't want to date them, you don't want to be married to them, or
Yeah,
whatever, you don't want to have relationships with them. What does that serve?
nothing.
It doesn't serve anything. That you guys are really great and you guys all agree with each other. Whoop-de-doo. That makes no sense at all. Or if we're going to come up here and we're going to just talk the way we're going to talk about one gender or another, we all have responsibility in how all this plays out in life. Some
And
more percentage, but some, so we can't do that.
I can't say that. I guess I look at from the time I was married, or the couple days I was married, to to now, and just over time, my perspective on how I could have handled my relationship could have been better.
Yeah.
Some things I could have changed. But it takes time. It take listening to people. Um, Now I was hurt about when I was getting divorced. The people I went to, marriage ministry at the church, they were talking crazy. I'm like, man, I'm supposed to go to y'all. Y'all supposed to be helped,
Yeah.
and y'all encouraging what don't took place.
Yeah. You're
And
like,
so,
what?
like, hey, this don't supposed to work this way. But in one different way. But over time, you see, you go back and look at stuff like, wait, maybe I shouldn't have handled this way. I said this, or but that's when maturity comes into place, and you got to be open to be
Yeah.
able to and like he was trying to say, accountable. You at that time, you really say, you know something, I got to be accountable for my actions that I did,
Yes.
and I take ownership of what I've
Mm-hmm.
done.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a lot. It's now that's one thing that I see a lot of people don't do now.
Oh no.
Is
Everybody points a
people,
finger at everybody.
oh
It's
yes,
everybody's fault. Everybody this, everybody that. Everybody did it. They made me do it. I wouldn't have did it if you didn't do here. And or if you address something. But what about the women? What about
yeah,
the men? What is
yeah,
it's like just stay focused on this is what
yeah,
is we're talking about. We can always get to the other side of things, but
yeah,
we're here.
yeah. That is that's one of the biggest things to deal with work now. And it's like, man, even if you make a mistake, that's like, hey, I made a mistake. Let's try to fix it. Oh no, I made a mistake because he didn't do what he supposed to do. God,
Yeah.
no, just say it. Listen, I made the mistake.
Yeah, you
But
own your
you
stuff. You own
own,
your
you gotta
stuff
own it.
and you don't worry about pointing the finger at the next person. Just own your stuff and
Just own
hopefully
it.
that other person will own their stuff. It's
But that is not the case this day and time. But yeah,
yeah.
so it's 2 p.m.
It's 2 a.m.
So hey, okay, okay. I'm like,
Yeah. So I'm in California.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh
And you're in
yeah,
Atlanta. So you're it's like 3 o'clock there. I mean, sorry,
I
5 o'clock
feel
there.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for staying up and coming on. You were busy in the chat, so I felt comfortable. Like I said, if I I like to feel where people at.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that you have to be one side or not, but just
No, 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 no,
I
no.
don't
But I
want you
mean, it
popping up just
was
to pop up
yeah.
without
That was
like being active.
that was good. I'm over here dealing with. I have some nerve inflammation in my neck, in my shoulder.
Oh no.
So I have been. This did help me out tonight because normally I was in the hospital about a week, and
Oh,
my medication I can't go to sleep.
oh
So
okay.
it worked out.
Okay,
Yeah, but
okay.
it was good though. Like I'm glad that I was able to get on.
Yeah.
Um,
Were we friends on Facebook before this, or you just saw like how did you
we're
come
friends.
across? We're okay.
Yeah, you just accepted my friend request a couple days ago.
Okay. Okay, okay.
But it's
Okay.
needed though. This is
Yeah, we
uh
get really going on this. Sometimes I
yeah,
have a panel up here
yeah.
with like we did one pet peeves where I had a panel of like 3 or 4 women, and then we reversed it. We had a panel of like
Mhm.
3 or 4 men, and they talked about their pet peeves and questions that they have for women. It gets fun up here. It gets really fun. I think we learn a lot. We grow and stuff, and that's what I was gonna say. It's not about it's about growth. It's not about
Right.
being wrong. It's about can I grow from this? Did I
Yeah.
grow from this, or how can I grow from this?
Yeah. So,
Um,
does Brian get on often?
No, that was no, he's never been like I said, I have the mail. He's never been
Okay.
on here before. We've had conversations about different topics and stuff,
Okay.
but no, he's never been. I just we were chatting and I go, "Well, do you mind just coming on tonight so we can have this conversation online just because I'm trying to start coming on a little bit. I really need to get on my TikTok to kind of build my TikTok a little bit. So, but this is a platform I normally use. So we just said I'll just come on here. And I'm on YouTube as well.
Okay.
It's all bedroom noise. But I'm actually going to probably change this Facebook to bedroom noise because I just have more followers here.
Okay.
It's more people that I don't know, like personally know than I do. So I might as well just change the name. So but no, so no, he just no that he's never been on as a guest. Would you be willing to come on as a co-host?
Yes.
I call him a
Yes.
co-host. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
There is a difference in the time. I was in Atlanta just I believe last month, and I took it on the road. I did a episode out there, so it was 11 o'clock out there when I was doing it. But you know, and
You
we
did it while
normally
you was
go,
here?
huh?
You did it while you was here?
Yeah, uh huh.
Okay.
Yeah. And we normally go, they've been going about 2 hours or so, but at any time you need to drop off, I always tell people anytime you need to drop off, you can drop off. It's, no one's held hostage or what have you. Also, what I was going to say, yeah, you can drop off anytime. And I never rehearse anything. Nothing is
Okay.
rehearsed. I give you the topic, what we're going to talk about. And or we work the topic out together, and then and then sometimes I do notes for us just in case we get, we need some help or we need to remember something. But I only ask for you to be who you are. I don't want you to come up here acting different or think you can't say anything. I know Brian was saying a few times that, like you wasn't saying what you really wanted to say. I
Oh no,
don't
I
want
was
people
saying what
not
I,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't want people to not do, I don't want you to do that. I want you to be able to say what you want to say. Um, but you may get smoke, this ain't, we were respectful up here, but you may get the smoke.
Yeah.
But it's hopefully because we're trying to learn and grow from it too. So,
Yeah, and you can't get to where how you feel your opinion is what a person is gonna say. And I think he was thinking I'm thinking a certain way, and I want to say something. I didn't feel like I couldn't say what I want to say, so
I,
I did say um, everything I wanted to say. Now I just believe he won. I truly believe that he is very. He's into that submissive. Women don't say nothing. You don't say nothing until you talking to,
mhm.
and you can't. And this day and time, hey man, they don't ain't rock no more. People, no, 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 no.
And there are submissive women out there. I classify myself as a submissive woman.
But I think you
Um,
can be submissive in. So I think you should say what you need to say.
mhm,
Saying what you're saying doesn't mean that you don't submit to a person. You're not submissive. You don't want to be led. But I think you still should say what you want to say.
mhm.
Communicate.
Yeah, I don't think submissive being you need to you be quiet until you spoken to. That's not what submissive
Yeah,
is about.
yeah.
That's
I
not what
totally agree with you on that.
that's not
You
what
know,
submissive about. No.
yeah.
And I think that any man that has any decent good man is want to hear what a woman women have. I know it's hard to believe that women are wise. They have
No,
discernment. they
hey,
they 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 actually, if you're in a good relationship, a lot of times she is
uh,
leading without being the leader, but
she
she's
is.
leading and she
Yeah,
knows how to let you think you're leading and she's really leading. That's just
that's,
what a woman does.
that's true.
A good quality woman is going to multiply and make you better than you. If you thought you were great now, get with the right one.
Yeah, and that's
Get
what I
get
believe.
with the right one.
That's where it comes as far as the partnership to where you play your role,
But yeah.
truthfully.
Hmm.
And women, you all are more. They can't admit, you are
Smarter,
more
wiser,
detailed,
everything.
smarter, wiser, everything. Yeah,
It's just the truth. That's how
and
God
that's
made us.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
so
just like and just like to me, there's women that are that women normally are nurturers and soft. There's not every woman is.
no,
Not every woman knows how to hug. Not every woman knows how to be affectionate. Not everyone knows that. And I'm not going to walk around here and act like every man knows how to lead because that's not
no,
true.
that is not. No, 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 no,
It's not true. And it's okay that it's
no.
not, but it's don't walk around acting as if there's that's happening out here. And more, we do have men and women not playing their role or not knowing their role. Because you know why they don't know their role? Because they don't know who they are
Yeah,
and they don't love themselves.
that's true.
The reason why they lie is because they can't even tell them, they can't even be truthful to their own, to who they are. So I'm expecting you. I always tell people this: don't worry about telling me the truth. Don't worry about me. I don't care. tell yourself the truth. If you can tell yourself the truth, I'm gonna be right in there, and I don't have nothing to worry about. I wouldn't have anything to worry about. But if you can't even be truthful to yourself,
No,
what am I asking for? Come on now.
agree.
So, so that's where it lies. There are more people walking on this earth not knowing who they are, and for sure not loving who they are.
Yeah, and they've standing behind a mask, and well, really, they have let the world critique who they think they are and supposed to be. It is so much influence now. It's like it's crazy, man. How and like what you're saying, people just don't. Hey, I'm what TikTok say I am.
Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh.
I used to my daughter with these they girls come with these lashes. I'm like, girl, y'all little friends,
Just
y'all
fluttering, just flying.
14, 15. And I'm like, y'all look beautiful without them. But no. I said, well, look at my money ain't paying for them. So you go
Yeah.
to work, you can fly all you want to, but
Fly
I'm
away.
not. No, no. I get your hair done, but to come to them lashes, no,
Yeah.
no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And
You have so many people that they think this is what your fault. You just kind of, because you don't know, so you just follow the lead. Everyone's doing it, so let me get my lashes done. Let me get this done. Let me do this. Let me get the BBL. Let me get all.
that's
Everybody want
it.
to get all this.
I said, man, it's ooh, and
That's how
that's
it
why
goes.
you have to be grounded and have a foundation what you can stand on to get past the fakeness and just stay with the truth as much as you can.
Yeah.
So
What made you want to come up on tonight? What made you want to come up?
you popped up.
I mean, just that
Oh,
alone
what
just
I
made
was
you.
listening to Brian
Okay. You think he needed
and
some assistance or something, or
when
getting help
Brian
him
was saying what I was like,
alley hoop?
oh no, sir, that is not the truth. Uh and when he was talking about that submissive, I was like, nah, I mean, I'm listening to him like, man, he don't want the woman to say nothing.
Yeah. I
And
think I think it is a proper way of doing everything, but I think that you can't say 1 minute we don't want women to or people shouldn't just dispose of people or get rid of them. That we need to stick it out together and
yeah,
do this. But then when she does this, there are certain things like that you have to, especially if a person hasn't committed that crime, if you want to call it, they haven't committed that offense over and over again. A one-time kind of offense, you don't get rid of no quality
no,
good.
no,
That
no.
you don't get rid of no
But
good. That's like me throwing an 80% guy away. Like, why would I? That's crazy.
and then to say, I guess the other thing he was talking about, just back in the day, the women just went, you couldn't say nothing, you just stay in your place, and I'm like, eh, uh, no, it's mm,
I'll be the first that some women need to shut their mouths. They do. And my mom always taught me there's a time and place. So there might be
fair enough.
time that I don't agree with you, but there's not always the time that you need to say it right then and there. You can, and it could be received much better if you came back at a later time and addressed it or whatever. So there's always time and place where
Yeah,
you should have that you can speak up. I do believe that, but I don't think a woman, she doesn't have a voice.
right.
But
And then I don't believe too that if you're in an abusive relationship, listen. I don't care if you married and then somebody you don't stay to the end. No, that ain't how it's supposed to be. It's nothing nobody can tell me a psych a person out to say, hey, if he or she getting beat in the head, that I'm supposed to stay there. That ain't how this supposed to go.
no, no.
No, 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 no.
No one should have to be in any kind
Nobody
of
should not
situation
be
like
in that
that.
type of situation at all.
No, that
So
that's that's not good.
that ain't submissive. I'm getting submissive, get my head beat in. No. That ain't-
No. Mm-mm. No, I don't think that's what that is. It's and also nowadays too, everyone, even if you are a submissive woman, even if you are a leader as a man, both of those things come with being reasonable with each other, right? You know
Mhm.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
not one of these things where it's like, well, I'm the man and this is how it goes. And the woman's like, she should just curl up in a bun and she doesn't do it's a balance when you have a
yeah.
two healthy people that are actually submissive and are actually really a leader, not just because you a gender and you think that that means you're in leadership or you should someone should lead, you should be someone should follow you, but a real person that has good leadership and a woman that has great that she's submissive, it looks different. It doesn't look like how people think it looks. It looks where they're communicating, they're understanding, they're
Hmm.
helping each other out. It's everybody's working together for the sake of winning.
Yeah.
These days, people are working to be the only winner. At the end of the night, my goal is for both of us to win, not
Yes.
just me to win,
Yeah.
but both of us should feel that we win because we all was heard, everybody was respected, and everybody was seen. And when we talk about Aisha Curry and all that situation, that probably was not always going, or was a period or something was going on that was not happening for that young lady to come out and be vocal like
Yeah.
that. That's
That's
all
true.
I'm saying. I don't have to live in a house to know that because she has never displayed that on any other in any other time. So I don't think that, but I do think that was probably a reality for a minute that was happening or that happened. But she's not a throwaway woman, like you know what I mean? Because she made a
Right.
mistake
Right.
that she could have been crying about for ages and years and years and years. We don't know if that man has ever cheated on her.
We don't know.
I'm not putting out that he did, but we don't know if he didn't. We don't know if
Right.
he did or he didn't. Because it wasn't said, don't mean it wasn't done. I know a lot of men that their wives and stuff have. I know secrets myself on men that I haven't shared to somebody, and I have them. I know those secrets, and I could share it, and people be like, "Oh no, oh my God, no, 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 no." But so there's things that women hold that they don't share with people. So we don't know until you live with a person, you will never know
You
what they
know.
go through.
And then it wouldn't get. I mean, for her to say what she did, even for what her to say, like, what is the game? If you saying she ain't getting attention, like that deep there. Now that's
Come on.
yeah. You ain't just going to, you ain't said it in a joking manner. But that means that okay, it's something really going on. The
It
simple
is.
thing, it's the small things
Yes.
that hurt and
Yes.
destroy. The small,
Yeah.
ain't the big stuff, but
Yeah.
it's the small things that yeah,
You heard the glazier, or what's it called? Yeah, the glazier, where people are fighting on surface. I don't like surface stuff. So you hear people are just, you didn't put the clothes away, you didn't compliment me. That's what that to me was about. That's what that was about, right?
right,
It's some stuff that's down deep down there that you really need to be addressing, but we dress this little surface
yeah,
stuff. So why are you yelling at me about the clothes on the floor? Do you not feel that I'm appreciative, or you don't respect me that I take all this time to fold these clothes and do all this stuff? It's underneath stuff. It's not about the toothpaste
yeah.
wasn't closed right and the toilet paper
It's something
wasn't
else,
flipped right. It's about something deeper than that. And also a lot of times when we lash out like that, it's because we are tired and fed up. The lash out just don't happen all of a sudden. Like, you
right?
didn't say hi to
Yeah,
me this morning, and I'm gonna go on Facebook and say you don't give me no attention or whatever, however it happened.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't, it doesn't, it's not like that.
It's in the
And the thing
first
about it
place.
is that and you can't say to me that, oh, she came out and she said this. She's not saying, she possibly wasn't saying everything that was happening. She just gave you
Right.
this layer up
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
She did not give you this layer down here.
yeah.
Because that's what people do.
And then it could be something as far as the layer down there, and then what a individual person that's been going through and what they need. Like you said, been longing for a long time. And some people, I remember when, like the little time I was married, just some of the actions that were my ex, she was on a timeline. She wanted to be married by a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to have X amount of kids by a certain age. And she did that based on because guess what? Her mom, her aunt had died at an early age.
Oh, okay.
And so she was on a timeline. Now, whoever fit on that timeline she had, that was she was going with.
Mm,
And so it became like, hey, I remember we get married, you gonna get married by yourself, ain't you? But she was so serious about she had a plan.
yeah. And that does happen.
And so with it, she out of five, it was five girls. When it came to our relationship, we were about the best relationship that family had seen amongst all her sisters.
Mm-mm.
And so she was trying to be the one that would say,
Yeah.
hey, you know something? I'm gonna break the mold.
Yeah.
And we broke the mold, but it did stay together on the
Yeah.
other
Trying to
end.
carry that whole thing on
Trying
her
to carry.
shoulders.
Yeah. And but that was a self-desired goal that she was trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And
It,
sometimes that can be dangerous, man.
yeah.
People keep one-sided by themselves. They
Nope.
go by all means necessary
Yeah.
to accomplish what they need to accomplish. And it
Yeah.
was funny you were saying like how I think you said it went in relationships, people, you try to pair, you look at other people's relationships and you think it is what it is, but you don't know what they're really going through behind
You
closed
don't.
doors.
You don't know. No one will
And
know. I don't care if you've known them for 80 years. My own child, I'm learning her all over again. It's the truth. I don't care who you know. No
yeah,
one knows. Only people. That's what the thing about marriages. You only know. I just watched a movie on Netflix today, and it was about this Marshall who set these the ex-wife and the new girlfriend against each other. We didn't know at the beginning that he was the one involved. It looked like the ex was trying to be jealous of the new girl, and they were he did all this stuff to play them against each other. Um, and they thought both of them thought they knew who he was,
mm,
their parents and their friends thought they knew who he was. You don't know who he was. They didn't know who he was because they didn't live with him.
yeah,
Just because you see him every day, you can see a person every single
every
day,
day.
hang out with them, do everything with them. If you do not sleep with that person in that home, you do not know them. You know as much as you know from being with them when you're with them. That's the truth.
That's true.
I don't care
That
how
is,
you want to slice it and how you want to dice it. And you will never know a person until you live with them. I can date you for 20 years
mm,
and we move in together.
that make a difference.
It's a whole different thing. I know you, we've been together for 20 years. But when we move in together, we have to relearn each other all over again as living together now. Because that's different.
That's true.
Even if I go to your house 2 days a week and you come to mine 2 days a week, when we live together, that's a whole
So
different
different
ball
ball,
game.
right? Yeah.
And people think they know. They don't know.
Mm.
So I don't know. Bedroom noise, we just try to figure it out over here.
Doing a good job at it. Very good job at it.
Yeah. I know it's late there, huh? Or early.
5:37.
5:37. I'm gonna get
And
my
I
butt
don't
off of bedroom noise tonight or this morning myself. I didn't plan to even stay on here. I was just gonna say hi to the people, talk about a little something, and got me all hyped up. All hyped up. So yeah, I would love to if you'd like to come up and
yes,
have
man.
some chatter with us on Bedroom Noise, you're more than welcome. I have lots of different topics to cover. Did you say you were in the ministry? Like you're in ministry, you said?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had that on my list as well.
What you got?
Because well, my podcast is all about relationships. So within the
Okay.
family setting, there's like 10 different or more than 10 different kind of relationships within just the family,
Okay.
siblings and mother and daughter, daughter and father. You can get lots of relationships out of that. Your dog, your pet, the church is one, neighbors are one, co-workers. There's just so many different. So church was just one of those topics that I was going to explore at one point too. Just that has changed over the years, So you got a
Yeah.
lot of stuff going on within the church. So
Hey,
so that's
hey,
another just relationship that you have.
church will make you ask
Do
the
the
question
religion.
like, uh, is it worth being saved?
Mm-hmm.
It
Because
would
you got
that.
because you got those leaders in there doing all kind of. I was in a leadership position one time, and I don't desire to go back. When you're in leadership position, you know too much, and I want to just sit there and listen. I just want to sit there and listen. I don't want to know nothing.
Well, my coworker at work, her and her family we go to the same church. We've been going for a long time. And at one time, she wanted to work at the church. And I was like, look, listen,
Mm-mm.
you do not want to work at the church. I promise you.
Oh man,
You will change your membership.
you will change your whole
I
life.
said, well, now if you, I tell people, I said, now if you ever work at a black church and make it, you can work anywhere in the world.
The most critical, yeah, it's yeah. So yeah, that's one topic that I wouldn't mind exploring.
Yeah,
Even within the church, there's so many
yeah,
different things you can
yeah.
topics or on that you can discuss as well. So, but I have a whole list of other things too. So, but I just go once a week. And then sometimes I'll come on a Friday or a Saturday just kind of supposedly just to have fun kind of a thing. But
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I'm a sign off here
Yeah,
tonight.
me
I
too.
thank you. Okay. I thank you so much for joining Bedroom Noise, this grown and intimate, or this sexy and grown intimate relationship chatter podcast with your very own Jameka Necole. I had my co-host Philip tonight. I also had Brian here earlier. Um, Tonight. We had a great discussion. I don't know if I practice emotional regulation as much as I could have. And maybe we didn't practice judgment over or curiosity over judgment. And I love that curiosity over judgment. It takes the whole judging part out of it. We can ask questions than us already feel like we know the answer or we're right about this. Like get curious. That's why I asked one question like, did you ever ask the women why they don't want to they don't want to listen and follow? That's important to me. If we just going around and saying, oh, women are not doing this, oh, women are not doing this, we're not figuring things out. Why are they not doing it? It's a reason. People just don't do stuff. It's normally a reason behind it. 99% is a reason that they're doing something. So we'll get it right next podcast that would have more curiosity over judgment and radical empathy. But I want to say thank you so much for joining. I had a few people that I saw that came on, and everybody that was in the chat tonight. I do thank you for that. I thank you for joining, and I'll see you on this Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Bedroom Noise. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Good night.